There we go. I have that way the front of the thing. I'll do this too. We're still kind of showing right now. Okay, there we go. Cuckoo. Okay, there we go. Cuckoo. That sleepy little thing. I'm pretty sure she has not moved like all day today. Sigh, dude. What's up? Say hi. Everyone rolling in now. I like how it usually takes about like 3 minutes on average for YouTube to kind of send shit out. I'm noticing that. It's about like 3 minutes, and that's when things start rolling a bit. At least on a good day. On a good day, that's what tends to happen. Just get online. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I guess technically no, because I was like listening to shit and stuff, off and on today. I was listening to Kyle Korn from a Secular Talk, well, Korn's World actually on his channel, and of course they were like going back and forth, listening / watching the Knicks game and shit, and pretty much were just like streaming the reactions to it. And honestly, I was just like, fuck it. All right, I'll kind of at least keep tabs by like looking at the score every so often. I was just like, motherfucker. Get myself into it. I have no idea what that is. Kyle Kalinske from Secular Talk. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, you would really like him a lot. I've been listening to him for a while. You're stupid. Cool. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Kyle Kulinski. No, not Kulinski. 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 Good old Kulinski. But you don't have to Google him. You just go on YouTube. You'll find his channel, and there'll be all sorts of shit. I think you'll like his I think you'll definitely like a little bit of his commentary for sure, because he's a very old school, don't give a fuck kind of commentator a little bit. Ohio stuff. What's up? Man, didn't even buy me a drink yet or nothing. You're just going in all right off the bat. You're looking up. Moist.
I mean, eventually we'll probably do like reacts to like eventually with like news and shit. Once I get like new PC invested into and stuff, and then not really for him, but at least just for the virtue of like, all right, we're looking at a clip and it's kind of whatever. I'm just taking it from him, just like kind of take the snippet from his ass or something. So it's straight to the point. Yeah, pretty much. By the way, it's like 8 to like 13. I don't know. It literally keeps going back and forth for that. Why you ain't no one goddamn like? Doing a little show moment right now. Got my location on my back page, and also there's no likes on the bitch. Like, what the hell's going on with that? I know we just started warming up, but goddamn. Besides, I honestly got like a gripe about like the fucking game. I'm not even gonna lie, that happened today. Not out of any real care for the game itself, but just because Trump was there. It's like you fucking actual energy leech fuck. Like, get booed on, get fucked on, and literally slept through it. You just were there just so you can have your little grandpa nappy time while you watch a bunch of like people play a fucking basketball game, kind of. Like, go fuck yourself. And also, there's even like a theory now that because Trump keeps going to these different sporting events, suddenly like the projected like teams that are supposed to win lose their streak. Like, is it kind of a coincidence that the Knicks lost like their 13 game streak literally because Trump was there? Mm. The Silver Wolf, that's what I call him. You call him Silver Wolf? He do got a little dude. One day he literally decided to dye his hair for a Halloween thing, and he just has kept it since. And in fact, he's upgraded it to straight up like some Silver Wolf or Silver Fox shit because of his hair, dude. I mean, I will admit, for the first time when that happened, I was like, "What the fuck?" It's like, what happened here? What are you doing? Now I can't unsee it, and I honestly wouldn't want him to change it back or anything. Like I kind of honestly unironically like it now. It's like he went Super Saiyan now. It's like he just decided to be like, you know what, this is my Saiyan Super Saiyan hair, and I'm just going all in. I don't give a fuck. And he really is like that because he's like he throws a Dickie McGee's acts like, oh fuck, they need to like metaphorically rip their head with their spine attached and drink the spinal fluid and blah blah blah. Like he don't care, dude. Like he just goes all in, and I just fucking love it, bro. And he was popping off a little bit on Corn's World on their little dual stream. I was like, dude, this guy is actually mad. Like he's actually mad. Be like, fuck you, Champagne, you piece of shit. Blah blah blah. Fuck you, I got the game. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, god damn, dude. Shit, my guy is like popping. Yeah, looks good on him. Definitely does. And honestly, for the longest time, I wasn't really too sure about his friend Corin, despite watching the Kyle and Corin, podcast even well before Corin made his own channel. And I was kind of like at this point now, I'm like, he's a guy I can chill and have like a beer or two with. You know what I mean? Can you imagine if we swapped skins? What, like some face-off shit or something? What the fuck kind of question is that? I don't even fucking know, dude. It took some. What? What, like face off? Like I'm taking your face or some shit? What the fuck type of question is this? What does that even mean? Huh? I'm not high enough for this. I just want you to know I'm not going to hurt you in any way, shape, or form. That definitely is reassuring for me. Oh, yeah, I'm reassured now. Yep, I feel much safer. Proceeds to just like get the gat out of my fucking back pocket or some shit. Just like, I'm just going to have that like in my hand now. Serial kill type shit right there.
I'm a photographer. Sure you are. And I'm a geologist, bro. I study rocks and shit. And I need to study what type of rock you got in your head there, bud. Like, cause goddamn, just you good? Be good there, buddy guy. I'm alive. Yo, detective, Mikem or Mikem or whatever the fuck. Is that one of your victims? Braden's on like one of your alts. He's just like, fuck, I'm alive. I need to get out. Like, this ain't helping you, Mikem. This ain't helping your cause. Swapping skins, dude. What the fuck? What, like the first attempt is skin transplant? Like, Yo, god dang. Shush. Shush. Whoa. Shush.
You're doing a good job. You guys did a great job.
Oh my goodness.
And last night was great. And ironically, you're playing. I didn't get anybody's number last night, and
Get away from that trap.
I had a good evening with you guys, and I just want to say hi.
Yeah, no worries. I know Logan's out and about right now. I'm actually doing the stream, just kind of chilling for the most
Yeah.
part. So, yeah,
That's
just
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a beer, probably go to Chick-fil-A or whatever. I know. Hi, guys. Hi, pretty baby.
Crazy boy.
Oh, you're the big one. You're the guy.
Hey, he's the crazy one that's always loud and go crazy mode. Oh, there it is. It's like, wait, where am I going?
But anyways, yeah, Logan's out and about. Huh?
Yeah, he's hanging out with his friend. They were just watching the game that happened today. I was kind of like paying attention to it, but there's like a dude I watched that did a stream with his buddy, because they do them every Monday with him, and they were like reacting to the game too. So I was kind of like, all right, fuck it, I'll kind of like see what's up with it. Then I heard like Trump was there and apparently was like sleeping for most of it, and he got like booed incessantly while he was there. So I'm like, all right, well, that's fun at least.
It happens.
Yeah, so at least he got shot on, so that's always good.
Hi, guy. You're like a cat.
She really is. That's just been her spot pretty much
You
most of the
see,
day.
If you ever show a dog your neck, they know that you don't mean.
Oh yeah, there's like, oh my
You
god.
throw your neck. Well, initially.
Vito loves doing that too because especially when he gets chest rubs and shit, he's always like, yeah, it's my neck, do that too. You always have to give him a little fluff on there.
Yeah, they're on high alert because you have a lot of guests.
Mm-hmm.
So like, who's at the door today? But
So-
you remember me, lover.
Yeah, after like she gets her little initial
burst.
burst out, she's just like, all right, I'm plopping in the corner, and I'm just gonna be right here.
But only cats do that. You're not.
I know.
Cat. Are you a cat?
I won't be doing that. She will be like, oh, is there a cat somewhere? I'll hunt it.
Oh, you eat cats?
No.
Oh, don't be like that.
They aren't like
You're
that,
like, I
but
want
they
all the
will like
attention.
but they will like be like, wait, is there? And they'll chase and
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, you probably should get down though. You should be good.
Beto, you crazy boy.
All right. Well, I'm not trying to kick it, but I am. But I'm gonna go do my thing, and
All right.
if I got a guitar, if you ever want to jam, that was the other item that I was like.
Oh,
all
to
these
talk about
instruments
shit.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got my
And I was
acoustic
pretty
bass
buzzed
over there
last
too.
night, so I just wanted to make sure. that
Yeah,
we're all
and
good.
also I kind of crashed over because at a certain point I was like, fuck,
I
I
was
just need to
supposed
go
to
to
crash
bed.
with Jesse, and I totally forgot. He left the door open and everything. He was like, my roommate moved out and he crashed in the fucking bedroom and all. And we got buzzed.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I'm just going to go. And then, I woke up in the morning like, fuck. Jesse left the door open for me. Fuck. But anyways, yeah, if you're just chilling, I'll come back and bring my guitar if you're cool with that. Or if
Yeah,
you
I'll-
want some alone time or whatever.
No, for sure. If anything, I don't know when Logan's coming back, but I'll hit him up about it and see what's up. So,
Okay.
because if anything, I pretty much got really nothing better to
Okay, let
do.
me get your number.
Yeah, here, I'll mute it just for a
So-
sec for the.
There we go.
All right.
Boys fuck at work, nothing to do. 5 more hours of this shit. Damn.
First name, last name, nickname. What do you do?
There we go.
Cool. All right, man. Yeah, lost my aunt last Monday, so today is the week, and I think I need a shot. Not in a bad way, a celebration of life type of thing.
Right, yeah.
You can join me if you want. I'll buy you a shot.
Yeah, I might be down for that, possibly.
I got enough to get a drink and I got plenty of smokes, but like a drink, like just shoot the shit. It was pretty quiet over there earlier. I went there earlier. I did laundry, and I'm just in the neighborhood roaming. So,
nice. Right.
Yeah, if you want to come,
I'll probably swim by in a bit. I'm gonna get some food here in a little bit, so if anything, I'll probably hit you up in a bit.
all right. Well, you got my number now.
Hell yeah.
You two, get down.
And I'll forward it to Logan too, so he got it as well.
There's no domination here. I'm just part of the wolf pack, okay?
He is just a jelly boy. He's just like, I need attention, bro.
No.
I'm
I'm a dog dad, so I never let. So I had little ones.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't. We always
try to
the
keep
jumping.
Right. Yeah.
Because then they would topple a little kid or something.
Right. Yeah. And Vito is kind of a I'm gonna hop on. Yeah.
And Logan is pretty tall.
Yeah, that's also part of it too. All right. Yeah, it's basically just to his waist.
All right, guys. See you when I see you.
Hell yeah, man. Bada boom.
Yeah, hit me up. I'll be in the neighborhood, bro.
All right, go on. I'll hit you up some point. So where was we? Oh yes, the skin swamp. Yeah, you never really answered if you had like a fucking like victim or some shit up in that bitch. I need going back up in the shit here. Vito's going for real. Bye, what's up, Pinky? How we doing? Pretty good. A little surprise visit for one of the neighbors. I probably won't go over, to the bar, but I'll hit him up, be like, yo, if you want to swing by him, have like a little mini jam, just kind of kick it and shit. I'll sell you my skin for $20 in bag of Skittles. Sold. Sounds like a good deal right there. In this economy, even a bag of Skittles goes a long way. I'm surprised we're not even borderline starting to trade with that shit. Aw. Now they're all just kind of plopped and looking sad. Jazz looking at me like, what the fuck? You just got love and now we don't. Oh, little Vito. Where you wandering to, you big sweet goof boy? Like a sink, I'll just grow a new skin. Well, yeah, I mean, skin can regenerate and shit. Why do you think, despite the scars, we still have our skins? My buddy Marius works in more from the hours 1600, 1900 a month. The gun survives access total 3 cadavers. You in? Cadavers? No, I thought we were doing like a live body skin swap, not like a dead one. Hold up. Wait, I'm not the one doing it anyway. It's all up to, yeah, but if I were in your position, I'd be kind of like, unsupervised, bro. I'm just saying, if I was in that position, I would be like, oh, hell no. All 3 of them? No. This is also implying we're going to be doing some shit. You know what I mean? No. Now we're starting to kind of teeter into a realm that I'm not sure even most Sith will dare tread. As they will call these acts unnatural to the Force. Guys watching. Yeah, the one rare time where I think we need like a Bible thumper in here to kind of cleanse the impurities right now. Or some shit, dude. Like, what the fuck? Trump totally cursed the Knicks. Honestly, I'm calling it. The Knicks got gypped not because of refs or bullshit. It's literally because Trump was there. Dude, I'm pretty sure this happened with like, with a baseball game championship that happened not that long ago. And all this, like, there's been times where this legit has just happened when he's visited as president so far. It's just like at least 3 or 4 different times. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't think it's just a coinky dink. The virtue of his sleepy orange pedophilic fuck ass just being there, being an energy cipher, is what fucked it up, bro. It just made the Knicks all mad and pissed, mostly especially the fans, and then they got cold hell as fuck, and yeah, almost had a comeback, so it wasn't fucked, but it was fucked. Because I was like dead ass looking at, off and on while listening to Kyle and Corn, being like, I have a feeling they're gonna probably win it. Close, I don't think it's gonna be, smooth. But then, I was just like, but, one, what the fuck do I know? And two, like, Trump's there. That fuck ass is there, bro. Football racing, god dang. That, not just that, but he apparently, doesn't have time for his son's wedding, but yet wants to go to all these stupid fucking games and shit. Not that the games themselves were stupid or whatever, but you know what I mean? It's just like, and I even have a theory, about the whole wedding thing. I don't even think, Don Jr. wanted him there because he'd be like, oh, dad's just going to try to be a clout, energy siphon basically and be like, I'm here, Dad, it's about me. When it's like about his wedding and shit. So it's like not his dad. Maybe he purposely was like, yeah, no, you can make up like some bullshit where it looks like you just were like, nah, I'm not going. But you're not coming. Sorry. I know you. It's my day, not yours. And plus the extra bullshit of security and all this other crap that would be going on. Like, I think Don Jr. probably likely just didn't want him there just on the virtue of the extra bullshit that would happen. And plus, Trump either would be like, oh, yeah, what about me? I'm going to be talking, rambling about me. Fuck this wedding. I don't care. Gonna talk about or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, you literally just will do that. I don't think, Don Jr. or Eric or whoever the fuck was getting married want that. I'm pretty sure there was just some PR shit to make it look like it was the other way around or something. And he didn't give a fuck and just let that slide. You know what I mean? Like, stupid family PR bullshit. I guarantee you that, like, his kid was like, no, fuck you, Dad. You're not going to be at the wedding. That's my theory, honestly. Because, I mean, yeah, Trump also doesn't really give a fuck about his kids either, but he's also a clout chaser, too, and an energy siphon. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, either way, it could both be true, but regardless. I'm gonna come. And Trump fucks. I'm gonna come. Until your parents are on the internet. Wow, shocker. They've known that I've been on the internet, like, wow, since like maybe 2004 when I was like a wee little lad. Bro, I've been around for a long fucking time, my man. Do you know sperm whales' veins are so long and good? Would you like to just venture with me one day? No. And why do you know that weird fact? Hello. My name is Johnson from Peru. Well, hello. Imagine being trapped in that little booth with him while he's filling his pants with a gallon of his Brown's demon shit. Oh my god. For real. He literally was having like a diaper shit, demon shit infested fucking little nappy time during the Knicks game. Or in his brain where he'll be like, oh, I'm awake a little bit. What's going on down there? Oh, those black guys, they know how to play. We'll give a good ball. Yeah. Like dead ass. That's literally what it probably fucking is, my dude. Vito. Vito didn't like that. Vito disliked that. You're now vilified by Vito. Vito. Quit being boop boop. Vito. No, Vito. Vito. Stop it. What are you doing? Get over here. Get up there and be in corner. Yeah. Don't look me. You stay there and you just
Just shut up. Don't be doing that to me.
Can we get an impression of Trump giving a speech at Trump Jr.'s wedding?
Is it because I sampled it earlier? It mentioned that he'll probably like rant about Iran or whatever the fuck. I mean, oh my god, how do I even do this? Because I need to think about like how this would actually start. Because there would be some stupid HR like guy to write his speech and be like, all right, just try to make these basic points and get through that, and don't be too long. So now I'm thinking like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, what would that? I mean, I feel like we need to at least figure out that shit. You know what I mean? Before I could just like go through with like a rant like that one, because I need a little material. Oh my god, you know what? It doesn't even matter because he's just such a forgetful, dementia-addled, senile pedo fuck. Oh my.
Hold on. Oh, good old Trump Jr., the best of my sons, let me tell you, he's named after me, the best of all the Donalds. I'm the best Trump because I have named him after me. Now, let me tell you, the most beautiful woman I have ever seen, ever to be graced upon him or some shit.
I don't know. It'd literally be like that. I can't even really like get into it without getting too much of like
Me, all about me.
but I need more to like work with, so it's not just that though, because at the very start it's not gonna all just be that, but it's going to just eventually just blend into that.
What's a poor meal that tastes like $1,000,000? Sashimi? Cornbread?
Yeah, cornbread. Honestly, just rice and chicken. Chicken's not that expensive. Rice is cheap as shit. Just a nice, good, humble bowl of rice and chicken.
Or like, a fresh caught fish that you got out of the river or something like that. Because then you didn't have to pay for that. Outside of maybe a fishing permit or something. I like your hat. Well, thank you. Definitely rice and chicken. Oh, yeah.
Or like, a stew. Literally just broth. Like, get like a cheap rotisserie that you cook up yourself. And then fucking season it up. Get a big old like stew pot bitch thing, you know what I mean? And then just dump everything in there. And then just get it all broken down. Add whatever the fuck you want to it. And just stir that shit up. And boom, bro. Like, bro. I mean, it's hearty as fuck. And plus, if you make it kind of a perpetual type of stew where you keep it heated and it's kind of like in a perpetual cook cycle, but it's not actually like cooking. Like it's in like a warmer, status where it preserves everything and bacteria and shit doesn't survive. Like, nothing still going to be good just as you cooked it initially. It just gets more marinated and more stewed and everything. Like it absorbs, like it just becomes more flavored over time until it eventually hits peak. But like if you could do that and then just like just eat it up. Once it gets down to the low little bit, add some more, and then you just kind of make a new stew out of that. Like doing some poor man shit like that, where you have like kind of a perpetual stew, isn't necessarily a bad idea. You just add ingredients over time as you eat the stew. You feel a little bit of stew, just need like a little bowl or like a little cup, to kind of get you real quick before you leave for work. Boop. Then if you like, I wonder how like some of these like carrots would go good with that. Dice some up real quick, flopping in there while you're at work. It just does its thing. You pop back from work and boom, dude. Now you got like a little bit of a new addition to that stew.
Stew can fill you up, but what kind? But what's the side for a stew? Garlic bread. Honestly, just something simple. Garlic bread.
Because especially if it's kind of like a thick bread, you can just dip it in there. Or take some of the hard bits on a piece of bread and then just like bloop. Like that.
Just basic garlic bread. Plus, if you make your own garlic butter and shit, and then just get a decent loaf, then honestly, you can make some pretty fire bread, garlic bread. Again, relatively cheap. Chili with cornbread is the best poor meal at SMH. Then garlic bread. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of cornbread though. I do like it, but it's so rich to me that I kind of can only eat like a decent little square of it before I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. But it's such a good combination with a lot of different foods. Like, even if it's like, like a Thanksgiving style thing, you got like a little bit of stuffing, you got your turkey, a little mashed potato with the gravy, and you got that little bit of cornbread. Fuck, bro. There, you can't go wrong with cornbread, especially when it's paired with so many different things, or you got other stuff to be paired with it. On its own, it's just like, well, it's a little too much, and I'll have just one on its own. But if it's paired with some shit, I'll grab a couple. Because it'd be good shit. It's just rich as hell. But also, like, fresh produce, broadly, is a good poor meals thing. Because, like I said, even with things like stew, fried rice, beans, like beans and rice plus some veg, like, if you get some fresh produce, like, I mean, you don't have to get like a huge bulk of it, but just like enough for like the day, collectively you can get like a decent amount of veg, like potatoes, maybe like a turnip or some celery, and some shit you can add to some stuff, right? I mean, collectively at most that could probably add up to like maybe like $5, but you can make something out of that shit. You know what I mean? So it's just like you just gotta know what you want to do with it and what you're making. Because if you're making a stew, like literally all I said right there, turnip, potatoes, celery, onion, like all sorts of shit, like the beans, rice, even if you want to go gumbo status with it, and then just pair it with, cheap meat, that's successful, which these days arguably is pork and chicken. So, throw something like that in there. Find a decent, cheap quality cut, of pork or chicken, and just flop them bitches in there. Just let it do its thing. If you have rice and beans on here, then so versatile. Do some red beans on and rice on day. Chili beans and I see the chili beans. Yeah, you know what's up. I need to really start doing that more, to be honest, because I want to because my friend Logan gets a fuckload of meat and shit. But I'm like, you don't really have things to pair it with though. It's just meat on its own. We need beans, we need rice, and I'm not like talking like canned shit or like rice that's insta rice. I'm talking like the bag of rice, so you have to like kind of prep a little. And the beans too, where if you want some beans, then you have to let them soak overnight, kind of shit. Like I want those because those are very fucking cheap. And if you know how to prep them and know what you're doing with them, it's not that hard. Like a 10-pound bag of rice will go so fucking long, when it comes to shit like that. Same thing with beans. So like if you get like a big bag of beans and shit, that will last a long time. Jambalaya recipe is the same. It'll be a full for men. Oh, dude, I love me a good proper jambalaya, dude. Do white bean chili with chicken too? Oh, I never had white beans actually. Sounds good though. Rinse the rice until the water's totally clear. Well, yeah, I mean, rice is very easy to deal with. You just, wash it until the water's clear. I mean, if it's not like absolutely clear, it's okay, but you don't want it like murky as fuck and shit. Are you the Mountain Dew kid's brother? Man, you used to be Summer Child. You don't even know the old school fucking like character for the Mountain Dew, like the mascot and shit. Wow, the fucking cowboy, bro. That would have been better. But no, I'm just like that one kid's brother who who cares? Like, wow, okay, damn.
out of all that, you look like that one guy. You know, that was honestly probably the one where I'm like, wow, okay, I don't take that with a somewhat of a badge of honor. That was just uh come on, just call me Joe Dirt / David Spade and or something, bro. Like, come on. Do what everyone else does. Guessing not. Well, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, straight up. I literally don't even know who this like dude is that you're referring to. I would fuck with Mountain Dew right now. I would too, but Logan always gets the Baja Blast. I do like it, but I also know that they do have that original, like old school Mountain Dew, that's in the cans, or at least they used to. I don't know if they do anymore, but I'm pretty sure I've seen them around still. So I should just be. So if I do find some, I'm gonna be like, "You're getting that too, motherfucker." And no, so it's relevant. Well, especially if I don't know who you're talking about. Yeah, you look like your name should be Cody. Well, thank fuck my name ain't Cody. Even honestly, even my legal first name, I'm like it. So I always go by my middle one, which is also a nice little loophole to have, where it's just like I don't got to worry about that necessarily as much if someone like says my name, because I never give them my legal first one unless it's for like work or other bullshit. Bob Blast's only good at a fountain machine. Oh, like a soda fountain? Yeah, I kind of agree, to be honest. I will say, I kind of wish that my soda machine at work also had some of that, but it doesn't. Because it's one of those soda machines where you can literally pick all the flavors and options and shit. And I also found out how that works because I had to replace a few of the different like flavors and stuff like that for it. It literally is just because there's certain little setups where it's the flavoring like grape, lime, cherry, vanilla, etc. And then there's the actual like concentrate for the different sodas and shit like that, or even things like vitamin water and stuff too, which I'm like, are the like vitamins in the vitamin water in the concentrate or something? Because I'm like, how does that work? I'm like, huh? But I don't know. I mean, it's a little interesting to learn that now. I'm like, oh, so that's how the inner workings are a little bit, huh? Huh. You had a great apple soda float. That sounds pretty good. Used to have Code Red on a soda on a fountain machine at my job. It was so good. Nice. To be fair, any soda that comes out of like the soda fountain is a little better, but I think it's because it's the concentrate mixed in with the carbonated water and stuff. It's not like it's basically bringing the manufacturing process straight to you with the soda machine. Like it's not like it's like some pre-made thing inside. Like it's literally just like it's bringing the manufacturing process directly into the cup, basically. Which honestly is kind of cool because if you think about it, if you see like a video of how they do make Coca-Cola like in a factory when they're like assembling the bottles of the cans and shit, it's basically just a tiny version of those fucking manufacturing plants of like concentrated water and all that, just and then they just put it in those bottles and then they cap them up and everything and then they go on their way and all that shit. It's just kind of like, oh. And also that's the reason why in some countries, depending if you get Coca-Cola, especially Coca-Cola, in different countries, they always will taste slightly different because of where they get, because Coca-Cola, because of how fucking huge this company is, let's just be fucking frank here, they have different places where they, have concentrate mix. And then they also have different places where carbonated water and shit, like they have these places all over the world where there's slight differences in the process where, like if you were to get a Coca-Cola like in Mexico versus Vietnam, the US, and Thailand, and like Germany, every single one of those places will have a slightly different taste in the Coca-Cola. just because of where they get the manufacturing and the concentrate and everything that's gets shipped to them. Because it's just cheaper to get it to the closer plant that's like the European one or whatever the fuck, or the one that's in Southeast Asia. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot easier to just source it more locally and regionally, especially when it's such an easy thing to make. And also because of water quality, and because of different minerals and different things that are in the water that gets turned into the carbonated water to mix in with these drinks. That's another factor too. So whenever you got like the carbonated water that's being mixed in with the concentrate, that's sourced locally in these different areas, that adds to the flavor, and that does add to a slightly different, distinct taste to it. That's why a lot of people sometimes in the U.S. will go for the glass Mexican Coca Colas versus the ones in the plastic or the canned ones that are like U.S. based, is because they do have a different taste to it. Think about it. Get like a canned one, or like the one from a soda fountain, and then one of those glass bottled ones, from Mexico, and or even like a plastic bottle one. Legit, compare them. Like there is a slight difference to it. And also they use cane sugar too, because like the sweeteners that they'll use as well, might vary and change, depending on where it's being manufactured as well. There's all these different little factors that really do change how Coca-Cola tastes, depending on where you're from or where you get it from. Which honestly, I think is pretty cool. Is Echelon's better than the US version? Honestly, like there's even one that's a little better that I got in Iceland. It's called Aprilson, and it's a local brand that's in Iceland out there. And frankly, that was literally like the best tasting orange soda until I had this Mexican brand called Peñafiel or Peñafiel, I think. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, but it's like a Mexican like sparkling water drink. It's basically a soda. Let's just be blunt. But their citrus one is dead ass like a legit superior echelons, better quality Fanta soda. Like immensely. And they're also cheap. They're really cheap. And I love them. Like when I saw them around, I'm like, oh, this Mexican brand? Orange? Why not? I was just like, fuck it, I'll try it. And I was like immediately like, oh, this is actually fucking liquid gold. Holy shit. Viva la Mexico, oh shit. Like this shit is tasty. I should show up to my work with that one day. Because got a couple coworkers who are Hispanic, and I want to know if they're like, oh shit, you love that shit? I'd be like, yo, when I first discovered this, I didn't realize that liquid gold could be such a reality. Fanta was invented for the Nazis. Yeah, because of the U.S. embargoes against Germany, when World War II kicked off. And because Coca-Cola still had the German, satellite company that existed, the German Coca-Cola company, or the Deutsches Coca-Cola company, like they couldn't get the ingredients and everything for their sodas. So they had to think of, plan B options and be like, well, we could kind of make our own variation of like a cola. And they kind of did, but it sucked. And it didn't sell well. But they also kind of, I think, tried a root beer version because they were able to at least do that. That didn't really go well either. And then they tried orange because they were able to get like citrus and shit like that. And then called it Fantasy. Fantasy Cola or something like that. And that kicked off fucking like wildfire. Not just in Germany, but like everywhere, especially after the war ended and shit. So like, and they even made such a hit that they even had like the fantasy girls, during the war as like a morale boost for propaganda, and shit at the time. Which, if I remember correctly, I think ironically there was like a black lady also a part of their whole like fantasy girl like propaganda shit, if I remember correctly, at least for a time. I don't remember if that actually happened. Maybe I think it took off later, but I'm pretty sure that maybe it's a Mandela effect fucking thing, or like a Bernstein fucking shit happening here right now. Like, but I could have swore I remember seeing like some old like propaganda shit, where that was the thing. I was like, huh, interesting. All right. Is that trying to downplay your Nazi shit or something? Scotland has Iron Brew, which is really good.
Dude, I got some finished snow, so that salted black licorice flavor. Goddamn, it's good. Snus is like a nicotine pouch thing, right? I remember having that once with somebody who had like a Swedish version of that, but also salted black licorice flavor. Oh my god. That either would go hard or fucking suck. I'm not gonna lie. That I don't think there's any in between with a flavor like that. Cause wow, what a black licorice is already like kind of hard to say you like it or hate, like or well, that's flavor in itself where you either like it or love it or you just fucking hate it. And now you have it salted and it has a nicotine little snooze pouch. Oh my god. Fucking hell. Even has licorice root in the pouch. Okay, that might weirdly counteract something. I don't know. Okay. All right, they do a little more with it than just Nick. Okay. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't think I'd still pass probably. And frankly, like, if I really wanted to intake some nicotine, I just fucking would make a mook or fucking. If I'm drunk enough, just even say fucking and take a few drags off a cigarette or something. Like, I mean, or just like a vape. Like, I'm more likely, even when I'm sober, to be like, I'll take a hit off that real quick, off a vape more than that. Like, if it was like a vape flavor, I would actually be like, I would at least, do enough of a hit just to taste it to be like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm just curious about the flavor. I don't want it for the hit. I just want it for the flavor just to see if it tastes good or not. And yeah, it's, I mean, I don't know, salted black licorice. I've had some flavors where I think they would be good, but end up being ass, man. So I don't know. At least for vape stuff. But I don't know, for something like that though. Yeah, I don't know. I just. Now, actually, if there's like a black licorice that was salted, like flavored, like cough drop or something, I might do that. Maybe that has like a little bit of like powdered like licorice root or something in it. That I might actually be like, all right, like a little cough drop or something like that. What's about painting on the dog man? What do you mean, like a werewolf? And also, I mean like the actual like cryptid, because I'm pretty sure there's like different places around the world that have a dog man basically. We're talking about like the one in Wisconsin or some shit. That one, Bilberry World, like was it Bilberry Road Dog Man or some shit? Some whorehound or something. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think cryptids are cool, but I don't think like quote dogmen / werewolves and shit like that exists. I'm not gonna lie, if there were werewolves, I'd be like, what that werewolf do? But to be fair, I'm also a furry, so I'm a degenerate like that. But hey, ultimately, they're, anthropomorphic, still human on the inside. They just kind of became a little Caden-like, Who knows? Maybe that's how you tame werewolves. Is that like a name? What were you even trying to say there, my guy? McChenry? What? McChenry?
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna take a pill real quick though. I'll be right back. But I shall return momentarily. Sure. Oh, little chest chunk. I don't know what it is, but she just has been plopped in that one spot this whole fucking day. Even when I was gone for not even that long, for like a little bit, just being out and about for a bit for the day, checking out some of this rainy weather and shit. And I came back. I left. She was there. I came back. She was still there. She went down to be like, "Oh hi, oh blah blah blah," and then she literally immediately popped back up there and just plopped. Now Vito's taking a nap. She's galumped. Yeah, no, for real. They've been kind of outy begouty today. And to be fair, the weather's been a little bonk though. Like, like even this morning, I was like, "What the fuck is this noise that I keep hearing?" But it's a fucking tree branch that keeps hitting the side of the building over here, and I'm like, "Oh, that's what it is," because it's been so damn windy and rainy. I looked out my window, being like, "Oh shit, it's raining as hell." I'm like, "When did that happen?" I didn't realize it was gonna be rainy today. I honestly thought there was like some fucking lightning and thunder or some shit, because when I was hearing it initially, I'm like, "Is that like thunder in the background?" Looked out for a while. I'm like, "Well, it's raining. Oh shit!" And I just kind of stared at it for a while, and even opened the window, just being like, "Let me take in some of that fresh, rainy air that's coming through." And I was just like, "Oh, well, it's not thunder or nothing, but it's windy as shit." It's like early spring weather, yeah, or like kind of mid spring weather, but it was really more early spring weather because it was kind of cold. Like I'm wearing like just this fucking thing, and I haven't whipped this out in a while. It's actually pretty decently nippy today. Definitely some like at least a layer or two hoodie weather for sure. And it's fucking June. I kind of hate to say I can't quite complain, but fuck. Oh, Rose's on a rant. Okay, leftists, liberals, basically anyone who's a far right. Can we please stop with the Trump is dying shit? I've been hearing this for months, back in February. So I'm doing Instagram. Is Doctor's like at best is until Milf to Krog since fucking June. The fuck only assume fate is so fucking sense of humor that it's more so going on longer you'll stay alive. I don't say it will happen. I know it will. I'm I'm on two sides of your position here, my friend. I agree, but also disagree. Because Trump is dying, okay? Like, let's just be blunt. He is. He's a dementia, adult fuck who literally slept through a fucking Knicks game and was just taking a grandpa nappy time in the Madison Square Garden, fucking everyone's jive up and fuck that game and shit. You know, so I don't want to get into that. I know you don't really care much, but you know what I mean. Like, and got booed essentially, didn't care anyway, and like just had like a demon shit diuretical nappy time, you know, shitting his brains out, a little fuckball fest of just being in his stupid little booth the whole time. Like, I mean, and every time we see this motherfucker, he is legitimately looking worse and worse and worse. I mean, at this point, this is why and this is where I agree with you, where I made a projection and a prediction, and I leave it at that. And for me, it will happen in my mind, by September to around December, somewhere around the end of the year. Hopefully sooner than that, but that's where I put my bets. And I don't, you know, because like he has the fucking best healthcare in the world. He's the goddamn president, okay? Like, you know, he's, you know, they're literally are injecting him with all the drugs to keep him alive as long as possible, at least somewhat functional, you know, to look like a fucking leader, even though it's not. Like, even arguably, like Trump, Reagan, when he had Alzheimer's and Nancy Reagan was basically running the show, like, arguably that was fucking better than what the fuck is going on right now. Because we don't even have that motherfucker, like Nancy, you know, to be, like, taking the reins, because Melania hates his ass. And everyone else kind of does, too, and don't really want to, they just kind of, like, all right, do your thing. We don't care, really. I mean, they do in the sense that, like, it fucks us, but, like, hopefully that we can jump ship in appropriate means, you know, before it gets bad. But it's like, no. But it's like our train systems do the derail, yes, but somehow, despite being rusted shit, they still chug along. I know. That's what I'm saying. I put my, prediction out there. I mean, you even heard me at the very beginning of the year. Like, it would be sometime near the end of the year. I've always been pretty consistent with it. I mean, I will say, I think I've jacked it further down the line once, like back in February or some shit, where I was like, okay, because of X, Y, or Z, yeah, he probably would live longer. But I really don't. I even actually, I think he would push it to be like he might even survive till 27. I mean, but after 27, it dead ass would not be that much longer. I really don't think he will survive the end of his term. Like, flat out, I just believe that. But I mean, like, at least when it comes to current factors of things right now, I mean, it's anybody's fucking guess. I mean, it's still possible he could just croak tomorrow. I mean, straight up. Like, I mean, but probably not. I mean, I think that's why there's also the joke of, like, the big, beautiful obituary. I think people just are sick of trying to predict it and this and that and everything. They're just waiting for it. And I'm kind of there, too. I've already kind of accepted that fate, and now I'm kind of waiting for the big, beautiful obituary. Like... And I think that's, like, kind of the philosophy to take. Like, yeah, you got all these liberals and even some leftists out there, they're like, oh, he might be dying next week. It's like, yeah, you got these motherfuckers, but I don't really inherently blame them though, because goddamn, yeah, I kind of agree too though, despite that. It's like, yeah, I know, I get you, man, but shut up, quit teasing me all the time. Like, I can only be edged so much until you start chafing my dick off. Like, stop. Like, wait for it till it happens, and then we can start busting fucking nuts, because I've been edged enough. I got some shit ready to go that's about to go fucking making ropes that are about to fucking make the goddamn, like, fucking Golden State Bridge look like a bitch. They're gonna be so fucking, like, thick and long that goddamn you can fucking put some trucking industry over that shit, dude. Like, it's about to be diabolical, okay? I'm waiting, like everyone else. But fucking hell, shut up. Stop edging me to the point you're chafing the dick off. That's why I'm sick of hearing it. Exactly. Wait for the big, beautiful obituary, and we can start busting ropes, fucking dying of alcohol poisoning because we're celebrating too hard and all that shit. And, just wait for the inevitable. It's going to happen. And, hey, look, I'm hedging the bets on at the end of the year at some point, or even before then. But whatever. You know, like, until then, his ass is here to stick around, so maybe we should be more worried about what the fuck him and the cronies and everyone around his ass are doing, more so, especially that, more so than his fuck ass. Because he's doing a fucking UFC thing in the fucking White House, bro. And how much you want to bet that guy is going to take a nap there, too? Oh, but, there's, definitely not serious things going on right now, like the fucking Iran war, the oil and gas crisis, the inflation crisis, the standard of living crisis, the water crisis, Yeah, definitely no issues happening at all, and certainly not because of exactly what the fuck is going on, but, all these, Trumpies that like to pop in his chat sometimes were like, well, he's great, actually. To give me circuses, but I barely got bread, but I'm too much of a retarded fucking dumb fuck inbred Neanderthal to fucking understand shit. This is why I'm done with those motherfuckers too, by the way. And frankly, I guarantee you half of the ones that even pop in here are bots. I don't give a shit. Or paid. Actually, unironically paid. I don't give a fuck one way or the other, though. There's no forgiveness, and there will never be a fucking ounce of redemption. Not one atomic particle. Like, honestly, even if in the post-Trump MAGA era, if I see a fucking MAGA hat, I'm like, that's literally wearing a Nazi fucking swastika armband on your fucking, on your arm. Or having the SS fucking little patches on your collar. Or having like a little Nazi tattoo, that you're projecting on your fucking back or some shit. It's like, nah, you're asking to get fucking stomped. At that point. Did you just tell me this language? If there is a prime example of not time or place. And frankly, we need to be unapologetically fucking, unapologetic when it comes to language against them. Do you think these right-wing motherfuckers have any qualm saying the most insane, heinous shit against you? Especially when they really let you know how they feel? They would say it proudly with their chest. Oh, so we call them a fucking troglodyte. Oh, they're an inbred fucking Neanderthalic bitch. They're a fucking pussy. They're a degenerate, closeted little fucking Nazi faggot. Oh, wow, that's supposed to be like some, oh, wait, hold up now, guys. It's like, shut up, fuck off. It's like, it's called time and place. We could hash that shit out when these motherfuckers are, like, addressed and dealt with in the appropriate means. Sorry, I don't care. Take a little woke skull shit somewhere else, like with the liberals and shit, and the fence riders that are all like, well, why can't you think about the fifis of the other people and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm pretty sure even, queer people and other leftists and other people like myself understand and don't give a shit. You know how many times, especially at the ICE protests here in Portland, I've heard these protesters call these ICE agents faggots and shit like that? Or even house end words, occasionally from some of the black protesters that are there, and they see a black, ICE agent, like, they're calling them out, like, you right there, you house end word, you motherfucker, you think, you're gonna be protected by these racist white motherfuckers, shit? They'll pop the fuck off, and they don't give a shit. Like, no one cares anymore. This whole, like, woke skull shit, even a lot of hard lefties and shit don't give a fuck anymore right now. Especially the ones that touch grass. Sorry, we can hash all that, like, language stuff later. When we actually have a space that isn't threatened by literal fucking Nazistic fascism. Bigger fish to fry, my guy. I've heard plenty of things even said to Hispanic ICE agents too that I'm like, even I'd be like, God damn. I mean, I've heard some pretty wild shit, and everyone's like, yeah, fuck you. Like when it comes to these agents, they are agreeing, but they're like, I won't say what they said, but yeah, fuck you. Motherfucker. I'm like, God damn, though, a little bit, but yeah. Won't be going so fucking, like, popping off so hard like that. I'll throw my shit out every so often, but, like, goddamn. Something, you get some motherfuckers out there, man. You know what? I don't even care. I've even with the Delaney Hall protest, I'll see some of the live streams of that shit. I'll be hearing protesters out there literally being like, "If it wasn't for the fucking courtesy of the law and shit that we have to be, forced on, unlike you bitch ass fucking degenerate scum, we would say that we ought to be fucking taking our guns and blasting your bitch asses." I'm not saying shit though, pardon my French, but fuck you. If it wasn't for the law and order that we're forced to obey, we would be fucking, marking your asses and shit. I hear people yelling shit like that. I'm like in these streams occasionally, on top of like the kill yourself shit and everything else. I'm like, damn, Jersey go fucking ham, bro. Even a little bit more so than our shit. We'll just do silly little things like, hey, do a barrel roll, do it like a backflip, 720 fucking front flip while they're, observing us from like 4 stories up on their stupid fucking ice facility building. Like, what's going on down there? We always be like, jump! We might respect you if you do an awesome belly flop and you splatter everywhere. When we use the word retarded, we don't say people with disabilities because mentally disabled people are way smarter than MAGA. That's true too. Yeah, because frankly, most disabled people are legitimately just a lot more competent and weirdly enough, way more empathy than MAGA. MAGA doesn't have empathy. Like, pretty much damn near every disabled person I've ever met, whether it's very severe to mild to minor or whatever, always have a very baseline sense of empathy where it's like, hey, I want to try to care about people. I like people. I want to, like care about people and stuff. Like, there's a very genuine baseline empathy that is like actually unironically like a very innocent thing, and it's like, and it's good. It's not even necessarily an intelligence factor. It's the virtue of empathy. Because these right-wing motherfuckers, MAGA, these fascists, it's the exact opposite. They're anti-empathy. They love seeing pain. They love seeing hurt. They love, seeing someone suffer and making them feel better because of that. Like, and the more they're suffering, whether internally or economically or whatever the fuck, the more that other people beneath them, especially those that they view as lessers than them, the more they feel better and the more they get, emboldened with the idea of like, yeah, fuck them. Because now I feel better with my situation because, now I have someone to, look down on and say, oh yeah, they're the other. In fact, arguably, sometimes it might be the source of my problems because we have to take care of them. We have to, my money and stuff while I'm struggling, is subsidizing them. They can't help themselves but have some excuse to be a fucking hateful, hurtful motherfucker and see death, pain, and hurt and watch someone bleed or die even. I guarantee if they were watching you overdose or some shit or like die of a heart attack, they would just watch you and just stare at you and be like, I actually want to see how you die. I want to see your process. Oh, this is how the communist liberal dies. Oh, interesting. They'll have like some weird fetish over it. And we're supposed to give them some credence? Fuck that. And I know that they, think about this shit. They think they're, a bunch of badasses when they're in my chat. Though half the time when I meet these motherfuckers, especially at these protests and shit, it's exceptionally so when they're outnumbered and they see the faces of us and they're like, yeah, you really want to try to start shit with us? They usually back down really quick and they're like, no, we're actually like, having a conversation, bro. It's like, fuck you. I know exactly what you're doing. Like, now you're trying to be all nice and be like, well, it's like, I came up here because you're calling a bunch of people faggots. Well, hey, you got one right in front of you. You want to say that? Well, you're safe faggot now. What about gay people and shit? It's like, I'm bi. I've sucked more dick than you closeted little bitch. You want to talk more, you little fucking fag? You want to go further with that? Because, I'm one that, is the fag that bashes back. I'm not one that likes to hide in the closet on Uncle you fucking coward. About to be a fag basher beat down up in this shit. Tell you what. Just like that Latter Day Skank song. Fat man should be down. Get on your knees. I love the way they do that too. Vito, shut the fuck up. Poppy Poppy. Or Cretans for the Cretans. Damn right. Vito, get over here. No. To be fair, I have no idea when Logan's coming back anyway. They're really nice. Yeah, they are. Dude, I remember growing up, like, where, like I've seen, like in high school, even during work, where there's plenty of people who are, mentally, physically, and even like sometimes all the above. Like, just, obviously had the rough, fucking hand of life kind of shit. And it's like, dead ass, out of all the people in customer service I've ever met, they are genuinely the most nicest, sweetest fucking people you'll ever meet. Like, straight the fuck up. I mean, I even remember one time when I used to work at Safeway, there was this really inclusive autistic guy. It was the one time I ever met him, but he's always kind of stuck in my head, as a memory. And because he came up, it's like, hey, I'm just kind of really autistic, so I just want to be quick. I just need this and that, Can you just get it? But he was obviously he was really nervous as shit. And I said, hey, and that's all cool, man. I'll get it for you, real quick, my guy. I'm autistic too. I understand, things could be over soon, Lena. I'll get you. And he literally looked up and like lit up in a weird way. It was like, oh, okay. He kind of nodded and, and I got stuff. It's like, anything else for you, my friend? I was very, like, because he immediately came up just, saying that, so I was like, hey, I want to not be like, all right, anything else, bro? I was like, hey, anything else, my friend? I was actually being kind of like, oh, immediate click. And he's like, hey, yeah, that's it. But thanks, man. Like in a weird, like, acknowledgement of like, oh, you're not like looking at me being like an awkward dude. You actually kind of acknowledge and even are, in your own way. But kind of looked up like, oh, hey, if he gets it, but still doing this, like, I feel like in a weird way that probably helped him a little bit. That's why he's always kind of stuck in his memory, or at least mine, because, like, I mean, I kind of hope that I kind of, did a good impression for him a little bit with that. Just, I never saw him ever again since. I mean, I don't know if he was like visiting family or what. I just know I never seen him again since. There's that whole Down syndrome abortion thing, but I think that shit needs to be mandatory if you find out if he has a social conservative gene. Well, also, even statistically, like over 90+% of people or women that at least understand and know that their child has Down syndrome usually have the abortion. And that also includes ones that are anti-abortion as well. More often than not. There is a small percentile that will still have them, usually, but, if it's caught early on, normally that tends to be the case. Like, but despite that, though, yeah, I mean, because on a genetic level, wouldn't it actually be preferable, especially for the quality of life for all humanity, to, like, hey, even, like, before full conception, even like if we can get to a science level where it's like, that first couple weeks we can literally like extract that, zygote or something and like do alternate genetic mutation to be like, or change, or even just be simply like ensure the erasure of like these, mutations that ultimately do provide an inherent negative outcome of life. Like when it comes to Down syndrome or Harlequin syndrome, and all these very inherently like just creates a very poor quality of life. I'm not saying things like autism or fucking like, some neurodivergent shit. I'm talking about like actual like genuine like there's chromosome shit that is just so gigafucked, and the quality of life is just going to be very poor, regardless. And it's, and they're not going to live a very long, healthy, fruitful life, because of that. Like that's going to suck. I mean, and that doesn't mean that like, those that are alive with that condition today means like, oh, you're done, like, or whatever the fuck, or if there's like a slip of the crack kind of thing, why the fuck? I mean, they should ultimately, regardless, there needs to be, a maximization of quality of life for everybody, regardless of conditions. But like, wouldn't it wouldn't it be a little better to ensure that we can, weed out, especially these very severe genetic mutations when they do happen? Because there are a lot of cases, where there can be some crazy severe shit that happens, and the quality of life of those people sometimes doesn't even last days. It's like that kind of sucks. It's like, ugh, it's kind of horrible to think about in my mind. It's like, because I mean, I've heard Christians even be like, well, the fruit of the very short time of life they had, though. It's like, yeah, a week. Tell me you remember anything from like the first week you were born. Like, excuse me? Like, really? Like, there's some merit in that? Like, I'm sorry. No, there ain't. Like, what the fuck you talking about? And even like if they were like 10 years old, even then, still, I'm sorry, that's still fucked. It's like, oh, they only had a childhood, but they just died because of their fucking conditions are so fucked. And even then, they couldn't have a proper childhood, like because they were having all this medical shit and everything to try to just keep them alive and give them some baseline sense of a life, not even a childhood at that point. That's kind of fucked. I mean, it kind of is a little bit at that point. I mean, I do think there's merit to, like when it comes to a level of like looking at, if we can eventually get to this, advancement of technology to look at our genes, be like, yeah, let's ensure that never happens again. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. I understand the, critiques though, like, well, cosmetic, genetical engineering shit and this and that. It's I forgot the name of the movie, but there's like even a movie based on this premise too. But I forgot exactly what the name of the movie is. I just remember watching it in high school, funny enough, in a genetics class, out of all the classes. Um, what the fucking name was that movie though? I think it started off like a C. Like, I just don't remember it right now. I don't want to get too sucked into it, but it's just like I feel like we were a lot worse with this, when it comes to this shit. Historically, like there was straight up actual unironic phrenology shit that was like popular science back then. Now it's just known as bullshit, but you still got dumb fuck right wing Nazi fucks who still believe it. But you really think that's like some major influence in the sphere of science and shit right now with the consensus of like medical science about humanity and genetics and shit? Like, yeah, no, it's not. Like that bullshit is long gone. Despite weird Nazi inbred motherfuckers still believing shit like that. Okay, like it's not the end of the world. All right, there's still people that believe shit like that, but that doesn't mean they're like some threat to actual science and like how that's going. Well, I mean a little bit just because of just this administration, but but at least with this specific thing, ultimately it's not they're not in total control of what actually science has to say about shit. The science is still the science, and we should always look towards that because back in like the 1900s and shit, like also you think about this, Nazis were literally fucking inspired by American eugenics scientists, in the late 1800s and shit, and even like in the early to mid 1800s. Conveniently, during like the pre, post, and concurrent Civil War period of America kind of thing. And they were very heavily inspired by a lot of that shit. Like I think even Hitler himself has even been quoted mentioning about the American eugenics programs and shit and being inspired by that. So it's like, I mean, but luckily, despite that, like of how conspiratorial pseudoscientific bullshit garbage that it really is, like it doesn't really have that much of a strong strength in actual science. I mean, even the Nazis during their time, didn't have that shit. They literally erased whatever was like proper science, but because of the virtue of it being a Jewish person or whatever that like learned it or discovered it, it's like, no, that's actually fake. So they had to like recreate and like kind of force their own weird fantasy shit to kind of compensate for it. And they had the weird little pseudo Germanic science, to compensate for real science. And hence why that really a lot of this bullshit we see today is kind of an influential thing. Because of America, then the Nazis got like weirdly inspired by it. And then now Confederate neo-Nazi weird fucks in America and around the world now, like, got inspired by it. So it's like it kind of comes back around in a way, Unfortunately, Trump bears a failed designer, baby. Dude, he's like the tallest of the Trumps, bro. That guy's a goddamn tower. I don't know. He's not really that failed, bro. Like, he's kind of a legit, actual, just big unit of a man, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, I don't know what his politics are. I don't even know how he feels about his dad and shit. But I just hope that he's like kind of weirdly one of the good ones, like Mary Trump. Because Mary Trump like hates the Trump family. She's like, I keep the name because it helps with notoriety, but yeah, fuck them. I hate them. Let me tell you all about Donald because he's a piece of shit. I grew up with this fuck. So she's the only exception. I like her. She's all right, even though she's a fucking lip. Vito, that literally was me, you dumb shit. Vito, you dumb fuck. That was literally me putting the bong down, you dumb. Yeah, put your head down in shame. Yeah, you dummy. Howdy from your friendly neighborhood, Yowie, Yowie. And here we are again, smoking tall shit. Yeah, as we all do. Fake news but German. Well, that's what, a lot of these right-wingers and Nazis like to think. But they literally believe in a fantasy reality, so... one of those things where you're basically talking to a brick wall, so you just kind of have to just, like, say fuck it. A Nazi doctor could cure cancer with sound frequencies. Whoa, that's a claim I've never heard before in my life. What the fuck? Got disappeared quick? Yeah, what's his name? What? I've never heard of this before. You know what? I'm willing to entertain this right now. I don't give a shit. Fuck it. You don't make no money off of healthy people, bro. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. That's why capitalism tends to be a major problem when it comes to the health industry because, you weirdly actually could be making money off of healthy people because if you have a more healthy, productive workforce, that means they're, well, shocker, more productive, and thus you make more money off of them because they're healthier. I mean, the only way that you can have like a somewhat unhealthy populace, working that way is if they're like pumping out babies left and right. And they're like, reproducing and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally the only way that could work. And shocker, we don't live in a society that's doing that. So, they've had a cure for cancer for decades. Cancer was a profitable business. It was also man-made. Cancer is definitely not a man-made thing, my guy. But, yeah, we've definitely had the cure for it for decades. Cuba has like a cure for pancreatic cancer and I think a couple other cancers as well. Like at this point, so it's like, I mean, you have other countries that actually, shocker, have socialistic, universal, nationalized healthcare systems, where it's like they actually can put proper funding and R&D that is benefit for the people that is being developed, when it comes to shit like that. Like, oh, wow, well, who would have thought? Maybe like a little socialism here and there, at least as a baseline, is probably a good thing. Because everyone benefits from it, because everyone puts a little bit to pitch in to fund, these programs, including the R&D research, that ultimately benefits everybody. You know what? Especially when it comes to healthcare, maybe not everyone or maybe certain people, live healthy lives and you don't necessarily need to use it. But you know what? There's going to be some shit that might happen. You might get in a car wreck. That's not your fault, or some shit like that. You might, break a bone at work or like get severely injured at work or something, like shit that's out of your control or shit that happens that it's not your fault whatsoever can happen. Random shit happens in people's lives. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like you can have, a system like that where it's like, yeah, maybe you're not using it that much, but you still pay taxes to it, where everyone else can at least still have an easy, free, point of service kind of access, where, one day you might need it. And maybe it might be really bad for you. And for a lot of people that have to go in, yeah, maybe it's just because they got a fucking flu, or maybe it's like, yeah, I got something lodged in my butt and I fell on it. Wink, I need it out, or whatever the fuck. You know what? Who gives a shit? I mean, that's why the hospital and the emergency room is there. Like, why not make it free for the point of service and not go in medical debt because of dumb bullshit or like shit that's out of your control, or like, oh, you got sick and now you have to call off work and whatever. Like, I mean, there needs to be a baseline there. And shocker, we probably would be having a lot of cures and a lot of actual like proper treatments for different problems in our health that if it wasn't based off a for-profit method, because yeah, we would already have these cures, including with certain cancers. The idea that cancer is like incurable has always been a for-profit propaganda lie made by the pharmaceutical industries. It is curable, and there are some that actually just straight up are right now. Not all of them, but there are some cancers that are curable, and it can be prevented and won't come back. You still have to be on a medication to maintain that, but it's possible. Remission doesn't have to be a fucking guarantee. Just saying. An American doctor made the claim he could. Oh, okay. So you looked it up to double check. Well, I'll respect the fact that you actually did, go out of your way to go check that out a little bit. Oh, shit. The Bluetooth needs a charge. My phone's at 69%. Hey, giggity. Yeah, I'll take it off the charge. Plug this bad boy in. Just put it over there. But like I said, hey, I actually do respect that, at least, fact check yourself. But you know what? I mean, I believe it. I'll believe that, especially more so. And that's why I was kind of like, a Nazi doctor. I'm like, dude, they literally had like a weird pseudoscience shit, and also a lot of them did like experimentations and stuff. Like, I mean, I was like kind of skeptical with that, but the fact that at least came back or like, wait, no, it was an American one and shit. And I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Yeah, that's right. Makes more sense. Now, 5 power focus ultrasound machines. Well, probably because like the sonic waves or something, are a way to like legitimately like break down the like cancer, I'm assuming. Like it's such a high frequency, thing where like such a clump, just kind of breaks apart. Because I know with like very severe like kidney stones, they use like a sound wave and like kind of shit where it's like sending shock waves through your gut basically, where it helps like kind of break it apart. So I mean, we already do kind of have that as a form of treatment, for certain things. I mean, so I'm a little skeptical about the idea of being able to help like destroy and cure cancer kind of thing, but I don't know. I'm willing to kind of see what the idea of that would look like. I mean, because I kind of get like the idea of what it's trying to do, I suppose, but I just also think that I don't know, that doesn't inherently get rid of the factor that it might come back. I mean, if anything, arguably, maybe even having it broken apart, with something like that would actually probably spread it potentially. And cancer is known to spread and can literally, develop in other places in your body depending on where it does initially develop. So I don't know. Maybe I mean, I'm still skeptical about it, but it does. I don't know. I mean, I'm open to kind of see what that is about, though. Does happen enough nowadays? I mean, no, for real, it really doesn't, dude. That's why I also was like, hey, actually, some respect to that because, yeah, no one does that usually. They always double down or triple down, and be like, no, I looked it up, bro. I promise you, man. I'm like, you sure? You want to double check, man?
Cuba apparently has a cancer vaccine. Yeah, yeah, no, Cuba does. We were talking about that from earlier. I think for a pancreatic cancer, and then I think they also have one for a couple other cancers, but I forget the exact ones. I know they first pioneered it with pancreatic cancer though. That was the first one they were able to be like, oh yeah, we have a cure for. So, hey, like, imagine if we actually, as the United States of America and our government, had good diplomatic relations with Cuba, because we have no reason to have a negative relation with them right now. You know, it's not like the fucking Cold War anymore. It's not like they're fucking like literally deadlocked with the Soviet relationship or some shit anymore. We have literally no reason outside of old grudge bullshit and frankly Mark Rubio's pet project to fucking overthrow their bullshit because his family literally came from a fucking sugar plantation family that was overthrown during Castro's, you know, revolution. So, you know, you got that fucking shit. I mean, which is also why Rubio, too, as a little side thing, is a little bit more of a scary fuck, more so than Trump and anyone else right now, because he's eyeballing the presidency so hard for 28, and he likely actually would probably get it, depending on who's the nominee for the Democrats and shit, and I am not excited for that. We might be seeing the Rubio presidency, unironically, and that's going to be scary. Because, like, straight up, like, if we had good fucking relations with Cuba, like, not only would Cuba be prospering so fucking much, way more so, you know, than their slow little drag that they've been kind of having and forced to do, but they would also, we would be prospering and shit. Like, Cuba would be getting fuck you money with tourism. When it comes to research and development for, like, medical research and all sorts of shit, you know, and trade, and when it comes to, like, you know, maybe having a license, you know, patent version, you know, of their cures for some of these cancers to help, you know, with R&D for cancer research here at home, despite our for-profit bullshit. Because guess what? You know that cancer, you know, treatment shit would, or that cancer vaccine would be sold at a premium. I mean, there would still be problems with our healthcare system, but if we had good relations with Cuba, at least there would be some people out there being like, oh, fuck, I can actually get that. Not everybody. Not people like you and me, unfortunately, for work class motherfuckers. And I have to do like a 9 to 5 on, you know, and barely pay rent and shit. But fuck, at least maybe some people could. You know, like shit. That's a good first step, you know, for all sorts of shit. And maybe that'll even encourage, you know, more of the, you know, universal healthcare conversation to come back in the States too a little bit. Being like, wait, you know, there's this premium on a cancer cure? Fuck you, what the hell? You know, like, it'll probably get people riled up about it again. Because honestly, since like 2016, basically, the whole like, we need to have universal healthcare, like, it's kind of there as a talking point, but no one emphasizes it anymore. It's not really a conversation at this point. It's like, I suppose because there are bigger fish to fry, but yeah, that's one of the big fish to fry, in my opinion. Because it is bad and fucked. And there's a lot of direct, you know, or at least indirect shit that even in my life that I have to deal with, where because of our fucking healthcare system, you know, where it even I'm like, what the fuck with, and my family especially. So it's like we could have a lot better of an outcome with this shit, but no, capital, you know, matters more than, you know, a human life. Profit matters more. You're just a unit to help make more profit for everyone else. To help make another motherfucker more money. That's the problem. That's why class consciousness is a very important thing to recognize. Everything else is ultimately secondary and bullshit when it comes to that. I believe in man will get better over time, hopefully. I do too. At least I try to hold that belief. Despite, at least especially being in the US, you know, kind of harder and harder to, you know, feel that way. Just on the virtue of like, you know, I mean, yeah, like shit's not gonna get better before, you know, it gets better. Like it's gonna get fundamentally fucking worse. And I don't know. At least for me and my personal philosophy, I ain't leaving. I mean, I just whether it's like a privilege or just a philosophical thing or whatever. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just like
even if it wasn't really, I don't know, like, I just don't feel like I'm in a position where, like, yeah, I could just fucking do that. You know what I mean? And plus, honestly, I got other stuff, where I'm like, I can't just bring it over to like Canada, maybe Mexico, maybe. I could probably like find some under the table shit with that, but I don't know. But like with fucking I don't know. Like when it comes to those two places, those are the closest bets when it comes to my shit a little bit. I guess this includes like Second Amendment shit too, and then I mean I could probably kind of get away with it with Canada. It's just that I wouldn't be able to have the magazines and shit that I have, but I'll make sure they get over. You know what I mean? Like, nah. But I don't know. Like to me, it's just like I got too many obligations here. I feel like honestly, ultimately, when it comes to like my niece, my dog, you know, at least being somewhat close with like my brother, more so, and my sister. Like honestly, I'm kind of trying to like think about other shit. Especially with like some family. I'm like, yeah, I can't just dip. And frankly, yeah, and arguably this definitely is more of a privilege where it's like I got outlets where I can go to some people and I could be all right and I can still have some shit and I could escape some shit for a little bit and lay low for a while and until things get better. But frankly, I'm kind of sick of doing that. So I don't, like so that's why I'm like on one hand I'm like I hope for the best but expect the worst because like this is my home. And especially knowing that, with ICE and a lot of MAGA right wing fucks and actual even overt Nazis that like to kind of come out here and, fucking try to flex their shit and everything. It's like, I'm done with it. Like, stay in the sewers where you belong, you fucking rats. You actual little leeches of society, you energy siphoning fucking animals. Like, fuck you. You're lesser than a fucking actual cockroach to me. I have more respect for a fucking cockroach than your fuck asses. It's like like at a certain point, I'm just waiting for the first punch, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm here waiting. I'm expecting it, and about someone who expects it, because they know that you're gonna throw one, and then you can just dodge it and retaliate as according. But at the same time, it's not really like that because at the same time, it's like, the gun's in the middle of the room and you got these motherfuckers scrambling for it. And then you got people on the left side against that are kind of scrambling for it, but aren't really scrambling hard enough. Because whoever grabs the gun first in the middle of that fucking room is, they're going to have the advantage. And I'd prefer if they didn't. So I don't know. Maybe it's a little more severe than just waiting for the first punch. Maybe the first punch should be from us. I mean, honestly, maybe waiting for the punch is probably not advantageous. Just saying. I've been thinking about that too for a while. I mean, shit. I mean, you got like a few people that have like already hit the pressure valve a little bit. Luigi Manioni, Waluigi, the warehouse Luigi guy. There's already been a few little moments, so it's like I don't know. No one seems to be in disagreement when it comes to these people, doing that shit. So maybe we should be kind of looking back to history too, especially with these labor agitators, because when it came to going on strike and to ensure that scabs wouldn't be stealing their labor and their work, they would sabotage the factory. They sabotage the mines and shit like that. So the equipment wouldn't work. Or it would break down, so they had to get other people to fix it and replace it. Because these scab workers ain't gonna know how to do that shit. They were just hired for a couple days, while the actual people that know what the fuck they're doing, sabotage it all. And they're out there on strike, and you think they're gonna fucking break the line and go help help their shit? Fuck no. Should probably start thinking about that more often too, especially when it comes to the strikes and walking out at the workplace. Like, hey, for the people that don't, sorry, but you gotta deal with some extra bullshit, and people could get mad. But you know what? put it on that, and we'll take it. Probably should have joined us too. Encourage other people to too.
It's gonna get a lot worse first.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. I mean, ultimately, it's like Murphy's Law. Expect the worst, but hope for the best. Pulled ahead with all this. I mean, in a weird, fucked way, I would rather have the Chinese government and Xi, run shit in this country than Trump. I mean, because there's a weird guarantee that there's at least going to be social mobility. Fucking like, oh yeah, we have like these like 5-year guaranteed plans of us like, putting infrastructure, high speed rail, and all this stuff. Like, I mean, seriously, like, outside of fucking Western bullshit propaganda shit that is talked about China with their authoritarianism and shit, which look, there's truth to that shit. I'm not saying China's fucking innocent or nothing. They're certainly sure shit ain't. But fuck, when it comes to at least outcomes, fuck, they're at least, providing results. And when it comes to being a global superpower, they're not doing it from the edge of a sword. They're doing it with the pen and the dollar and being like, hey, there's business to be had to uplift you and us. We can get a slight, decent little cut and uplift you as a country, and we, benefit, you benefit. There's a mutual agreement here. And the EU, even fucking goddamn Taiwan is even thinking about, like, working with China a lot more than, the US at this point. We're fucking cracked and fucked when it comes to, like, our diplomatic, like, seriousness on the global stage with any of these countries. While China is out there sitting there like, all we had to do was sit back long enough, and now we have an opportunity. And now look at us. Now the EU, Taiwan, all these countries are now coming to us because they see the results. We provide results. Yeah, we're not the best either. We're another superpower and part of the broader, like, big bad guys that exist or whatever the fuck. The US is one of them. But hey, you know what? At least we are providing results that are more economically feasible and better and more stable. And frankly, their future outcome and what their future for the world looks like is fuckloads better and echelons better than what the US global idea of the future looks like as it stands right now. Sorry, it does. And as it stands now, you might want to start learning some Mandarin. Oh no, you don't. All the stuff for China's crap. No, it's not. It literally isn't, my friend. See, dude. You don't really totally understand, like, what is like, dude. They literally have full EV cities. Like, there's like there's a city like literally not even 5+ years ago that the West was saying, oh, they built this like super future city that's EV, ran basically entirely, and no one's gonna move there and shit. Well, guess what? It's a proper metropolis, and there's been videos of people that have went there, and they will like take a video and panning around in like a major downtown market area, and it's genuinely actually fucking quiet outside of like the spokes of a bike, or maybe like the light hum of an EV car, or people casually talking outside of a cafe or something. And it's modern, and it even looks somewhat Western as fuck too. Like a straight like little got a cafe, got like a little cool little clothing market, and like a little bar down the street a little bit. Like it looks like a little downtown little like cool fucking little like commercial area, and it's quiet. There ain't no like loud war of engines and shit or nothing. It's just like a little. You might hear the light little. Like the light hums of like EV batteries and shit, and then it's just like people casually talking, and then like sounds of bikes, with like people pedaling around and shit on their bikes and shit, or walking around with like footstep sounds and shit. And then after that, just the natural sounds of like the wind blowing in the trees and shit. It actually sounds like a decent peaceful little spot, and it's in like the middle of downtown fucking like. I don't even know, like, one of these fucking, like, cities in, China. I don't care about CCP. Well, not my fault that they're providing results for their people in their country and globally, to, as like, a capitalistic marketer, pitching their shit, being like, look at the results that we got. We've been sitting back for a while, developing our shit, and look what we got now. Let's start making some trade deals. We are a global economic power, and now we're putting our fucking foot in the door. Officially and exceptionally so. And now they're, and not just that, they're like putting both feet in the door now. They're going all in. Don't go out for fun. Then why do they have all these fucking spaces that I literally was just talking about? And yeah, there are different places in China that obviously have various different circumstances, like rural China and shit, but we're talking about the major cities. Dude, I've seen like a video of like, where they have like, Chinese skaters, like there's like, a skateboard scene, where they even have parks where they have like, ramps and stuff, like skate parks, just like we have here in America, because they, have that culture too. I mean, I'm just saying, bro, propaganda, man. It's not when it's like other people that go to that country and visit it, and then they show the shit off being like, whoa, this is cool as fuck. And these are just like travel vloggers for the most part. Or people that just do live in China and post content, there, because that's just where they happen to live. And they're just showing off their life and being like, hey, look at me being a skater, at this park, in like Shenzhen or some shit. And they're just living their life. Shocker, just like we do over here sometimes. Because we've got skate parks here in Portland. And I'm sure you do too in your fucking city too, bro. And considering they have a lot more social and economic mobility in their country, more so than the United States, I'm pretty sure they're not exactly that poor. I'm not going to say it's across the board. They got their problems too. I'm not saying like China's innocent, by the way. But I'm just saying, if we're going to be talking about the pros about China, they got a lot more than the United States does, my guy. Sorry, it just does. I mean, their cons are arguably just as, if not potentially worse. But I mean, I don't know, man. The United States doesn't really have that many pros anymore. And arguably, it never really did that much. It has some. I'm not going to deny that. But I don't know, man. The U.S. is inherently, for its entire history of its 250-something fucking years of its existence, has never really exactly been more pro as a country than good when it comes to the totality of its existence. It's come close at various different points, but it's never been better than it has been worse. This country's always been shit. Still that line from an England movie. Of this England movie. Wait, a damn detective, Mikam. I guess you really are a detective. You just like called that out. Oh shit. Like they're not being dumb. Damn. Man, my chat is roasting hard. I'm just over here just chatting. Because I'm also being serious about it, though. Like, I mean, I'm just saying some straight truth. I mean, it's fact. I'm sorry. Just no amount of other whatever is going to fix the truth of it. Sorry. I mean, like, I don't know what else to tell you besides, I don't know, start learning Mandarin. Yeah. That's really all I know, by the way. Unfortunately, I should probably start learning a little more. Yeah. Thank you. I probably mispronounced it, but in the same room with a bunch of racists, and he says, "We're not racist. We're realists." Lamau. Shia. Here, take another little piss break real quick. But you know what? While I'm doing that, if anyone wants to send, you know what? Hold on. Show moment real quick. There's only 5 likes, and I know that those are from earlier, so that's not all other motherfuckers are in here. So that means that there's some people in here that did not like this shit. And also, I know, Inky, you probably need to, do the good old honors. We have a kiosk shop. And if anyone wants to send a little love and a little tip for your boy over here, providing customer service and good rants and all sorts of other shenanigans, that's the way, to put forth. But I also am going to wait here long enough so I can at least pin that particular comment, though, so y'all can have a more easier access to it. Yeah, there we go. Hell yeah. But anyway, all right. Now that we got that, I'll be right back, and we will return and continue our shenanigans. And Vito, why are you literally providing the Great Wall of Vito-ness? And Jazzy, you're smacking the shit out of that guitar. Oh my. Okay, these dogs are just absurd. Jazzy, I'm moving this like immediately out of the way because Jazzy is just too absurd and cute. Oh, you chunk. Get over here. Oh, you chunk. Oh. 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 You should watch the film. It's called This Is England. Real emotional touching, quite relevant with what's going on in the UK and US at the moment. I'll definitely keep it in mind. This is England. Octo Fu Shame, Yin Yang, Feng Shui, Zen Tycoon, Cao Tao, Kung Fu, Chai Ti, Kung Ho. Well, okay, these are all generic fucking, words that even white people know. Like, okay, Mornax, I don't really count that, all right? Unless you can actually at least, say a couple basic phrases. I mean, I don't know. Dim sum, chow mein, chop suey. Those are extra Chinese. I know they are. But I'm just saying, like, I don't necessarily count that shit because, like, that's shit you order at a fucking Chinese food place. You know what I mean? Like, I don't count that. I'm sorry, I don't. In order to at least know enough Chinese to be like, you at least are, like, learning it, you have to know, like, some basic shit. Like, like, hello, how are you doing? What's your name? Something basic like that. You know what I mean? Like, you need to know some basic phrase shit. Like, I mean, when it comes to Espanol, epicito. Conversacional Mexico, epicito. Conversacional epicito. Espanol epicito. I know very little. I can kind of get enough to be like, I kind of heard what you're saying, but I seriously need a translator. Which, thank fuck, at my work, we always at least have one guy that speaks Spanish when I'm at work. So I'm like, hey, can you come over here and, like, I don't know. Help me translate this. Because, I mean, I'll be like, okay, I understood like a third of this. I know you want like a chicken sandwich, and I don't know if you want a combo or not, or anything else. Like, I just heard that and like a drink. That was it. I'm like, oh, fuck. Translational. Oh, come over here. I'll literally do that. I'd be like, Espanol de Piquito. Hey, come here, hermano. You need to know phrases, not just words. Well, yeah. You know, at least you need to at least know a little something, something. At least you don't necessarily need to be full conversation now. You know, like I'm saying, because I'll say Espanol el piquito, not conversational. I'll say that, and I'll be like, hey, hermano, translate Espanol. See, yeah, I'll at least let them know, like, hey, I know enough, and I'll be like, I need to get my Duolingo game on more, because I at least know enough to at least let them know that, like, hey, I got someone who can't help. I just unfortunately language barrier. At least I know enough when it comes to Spanish, so it helps. But because it really is like at most maybe a third, and then sometimes like 1/50th sometimes, because also the speed too will be like, I mean, not to sound racist, but it'll be like, hey, some shit. And I'll be like, what the fuck did you just say? I'm like, whoa. You just went like rapid fire on that shit. Like, what the hell? Huh? Repeat that? I'd be like, one more time again and way slower. Like, so I can, like an idiot, like understand it a little bit. Hopefully, maybe. Because, like, holy shit, what the hell did you just say? Like, when you get that thrown at you, you're like, whoa. Especially when you're in that not quite there yet kind of shit. You know what I mean? That's why I need to get my Duolingo game going again. Maybe I should start doing that on my breaks. Because I hear it so often at work now. There'll even be like DoorDashers or even customers be like, I want to order stuff, but they'll only speak Spanish mainly. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, I need to start doing it, dude. Because holy shit. It's it's kind of a little lame to be like, I need you. I'll replace you. I'm going online now, but like, I need you, bro. Like, you need to do this now. Like, real-time translation. I know there is, and usually, sometimes that happens, but yeah, I'm just kind of like, I just want to be more quicker with it, more efficient, more so than struggle with it. Duolingo's kind of shitty, honestly. I'm trying to get a motivation to quit it for something else. Well, is there something better? Because as far as I'm concerned, I mean, all I know is Duolingo. That's a decent like language learning app. I mean, there's Rosetta Stone, but that's kind of like an old fart kind of thing. Like, no one's using that. Or at least Duolingo's free. But we need to meme Logan's girlfriend into being a furry into existence first. I've already been doing that kind of weirdly enough. I've been trying to weirdly plant the seed and fertilize it in Logan. More than her, because I don't see her as often as I obviously do Logan. You could be like they're going to say it. I know this English, but I can't understand a word. Oh, especially if you're in the South, dude. If you're like in the fucking South, even I will literally be like, and I know Southern, like, I tell you what, how you doing? Like some Boomhauer Southern. I tell you what, how you doing, man? I just came by and bought shit, a little Quentin town, putting in some building or something, shit. Tell you what, I'm a little wild, tell you what, man. I'm cut shot to something shit, man. I tell you, you know what I mean? I would actually unironically understand what the fuck someone like that said. Like, I know some Southern Boomhauer style shit, but there were some people out there where they're like, I think being done this shit, but about bro. And I'm like, what the fuck did you even? Was that English? Like, what in the fuck did you even say? I'll literally be like, can you slow down and like not have the accent? I'm sorry, but like, what? Like, you gotta emphasize that a little bit more in a way that I can actually under fucking stand. Speaking a little Italian. I do, but just on the virtue of learning how to sing Bella Ciao. He's back songs like Rosetta Stone didn't sit on that bus for the gays while you whine about rights, which technically isn't wrong. Damn. No president has ever been booed like me. It's absolute masterpiece, tremendous. And also, I was taking some demonic diuretical shits while napping for most of that game because the blacks did not entertain me enough playing ball. I, as a white Nazi freak, did not give a fuck, and I had to and take a nap because I know that they were not playing like the way I like to see a good black man play with balls. So you literally just missed exactly the rant I just went. I was like Trump at the fucking Knicks game, be like, oh, let me tell you. I had to be there shitting my brains and sleeping all day, basically, for that. Make it worse and sabotage the game for the Knicks. My presence ruins it for all. Let me tell you, folks. Knicks owner was napping next to Trump. Wait! The owner of the Knicks was literally napping next to...
Sleep next to him, though.
No way! What?
And the Knicks owner was the one who was like, they better win the title or else. At the beginning of the season.
No! Oh, no, Trump literally siphoned.
Like,
he's an energy siphon, bro. I'm hot take. Trump literally sabotaged the game, bro. He literally unironically, he's an energy siphon. Bro, like he literally.
You didn't even watch the game, so I don't care what you think of the game. You didn't even watch it, so. You didn't watch the game, so who gives a fuck? You didn't watch it.
I've seen enough where when it comes to Trump ass motherfucker, dude, it's like, man.
You haven't watched the whole series. You haven't watched, so you really don't know shit when it comes to that. Let's start one fair and square.
I was literally like listening to Kyle Korn and also like kind of going back and forth with that, with my own little shit earlier today. Like, actually.
You could have actually just hung out and watched the game like real people do.
I was doing my own little damn thing. Shocker, other people got other shit that they do. So I can't
There's like a once in a lifetime thing, and the one team you actually like and player you actually like is in it, and then you suddenly don't care when you did with the playoffs earlier. Very strange.
Oh my god!
You were watching playoff games.
I literally was just saying from earlier today. I was like literally going back and forth, because like Kyle Korn were literally doing like a live react while they were doing their show today with it, and I was like, all right, I'll like look it up a little bit, and at the very least, while I'm doing that shit, because like while I'm at least in between just doing a couple things throughout the day, clean some shit around here, went out about a little bit. Like, I mean, I can't like, actively like be watching constant fuckingly, but like whenever I heard some shit, especially Kyle, because he was a little buzzed, tonight, on the show, be like, no, what the fuck, what happened? And I was like, oh shit, what happened? And I would like kind of pop it up real quick. They're like, all right, some shit.
Guess who asked me for money again?
Oh wow, does it start with a B?
Well, he just paid me back yesterday. He just repaid me last night, and now.
Also, what happened last night, dude? Tom actually came by for a second and being like, Tom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he even said he crashed over here for a bit. I didn't even know that. I was like, huh?
I don't remember him coming back over.
No, not come. Well, no, he earlier for like half a second. He, noticed I came back home from work.
No, I don't remember him coming back and crashing here. He left
for
a while, bro, and I was like, he said he was coming back, but he'd been gone for a minute, so I was like, I'm just going to bed now. Maybe he came back and just crashed. Just won't let himself.
And then he came back. Yeah, maybe. And then he
got too fucked up last night, bro.
He was a little out of line, bro. He was getting a little disrespectful and mean, actually. I don't know if you remember that, but it was like I was trying
Well,
to like
at a certain
manage it.
point, I was just so tired. I'm like, I just gotta go to bed, bro.
No, it's
like,
fine, but you were even getting mad because you were like, what the fuck? Why are you like having conversation with him? I'm like, bro's getting intense on a philosophical level. He's also being very disrespectful and a little agitated and hostile. He was actually getting a little out of line. And I'm like, yeah, you're an elder and all that, bro, but you're actually being, it's my house and you're being a little, it's because
well,
of the drinking.
that was probably.
It's because he was too drunk. He was literally just too
Yeah,
drunk.
yeah.
I'm not gonna hold it against him, but it was like, yo, dude.
No, well, I'll say he
You're
was fine.
actually
He was
being a little
fine.
out
He
of
just
line.
he popped by because
He don't remember. I knew he wasn't gonna remember.
No, he came by literally on the purpose
If
of like,
he remembered,
hey, look,
he would have been.
No, he did. He literally came in. You know, while Acho was streaming too. Like he literally said like, hey, I had a really great time last night. And I forgot to get you all's phone numbers, by the way, and he got mine. You know, so
That's
I have
cool.
his. So I actually wanted to forward it to you too.
That's cool. I'm just. We gotta beware because he is native, and like when they get too much alcohol,
I
type
get
shit,
you.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but yeah. So like we talked for a sec because he only popped by for a sec just to say what's up,
Yeah.
and at least he thought you were probably here too, so he wanted to get our numbers basically, and he was like, I'll be in the area. I'm gonna go to like Checkers, tavern for a bit, and have a shot and stuff, because.
Sure.
His aunt, he told me his aunt passed away last week, and it's kind of like a celebration of life thing for him. His aunt. Yeah, so he's kind of. I think that's probably a part of why maybe he was.
Maybe he was a little more emotional and drinking a little more.
Well, hence why the celebration of life stuff. I think that's probably why he was so into that too. I think it's because as soon as he said that earlier, because he was still he was fine today. Like he just popped by just to say what's up, and once he said that, I was like, oh, that. And I was like, oh, that's all right, that kind of makes sense because like. That's why you were talking so much about a lot of that, from the other night. It's like, yeah, because, I didn't bring it up, but, yeah, because I'm thinking about the life and, like, the celebration and such, blah, blah, and I'm like, all right, I sees it. Yeah, I don't think he remembers all that shit, but at least he does remember the good stuff, and he came over just to say, hey, I appreciate everything, blah, blah. Like, at least he came back being really nice about everything, and stuck around for like a couple minutes just to, say what's up, get my number and shit. So he even actually offered it, like, if you want, we can go over to his pad or he can come by with his guitar and jam for a bit, stuff too. So, which I'm not, against, but it's up to you, I suppose. Trump drained the whole vibe out of everyone. I mean, honestly. Didn't. Trump blew the Forbes interview at the White House and went to Code Brown, but none of the journalists issue when they were issued out. They could be performing well if the entire time you see Sleepy fuck sitting in the stands knowledge they has access to nukes. I mean, that, yeah. And then now you got, like, the entire fucking, like, stadium just mad. And now you're all like, damn, now like half of our energy is because of this fucker, yeah. Was that the time when he had to rip? Dude, there literally happened. No, he didn't rip a giant fart. He literally shat himself and was just like, and they cut the interviews off short and they had to like escort everyone off and shit, dude. No, this actually happened like I think a month and a half ago, where Trump was at the Oval White House desk. Yeah, and he shot himself, and then one of his staff members was like, "All right, the interviews are done, blah blah blah. Y'all need to go." Like, cause literally so many people in the background were like, "Oh fuck," having these like stank smells, looks and shit. Like knowing they just had like a raunchy shit just hit them in the face. Yeah, and the fun thing is, this happened so many fucking times, dude. So bad, dude. I will say this much, man. Like, I won't be surprised if he's not the first president to just be actively shitting himself. But, man, he's the one that is, like, the worst about it, though. There's a Forbes interview where he turned to Resolute Dex in a commode. Yep, that's it. Or the talk show where you can see a brown stain dripping through the cushion. Wait. That, what? Whoa. Inky, I didn't see this. What? The talk show where there's a brown stain dripping through the cushion? Not even his own pants and shit, but the fucking cushion? Yeah, I didn't hear about this. Bro, send it, dude. Even put a link in the chat. I want other people to see this. What the fuck? Please tell me that's a joke. It's Trump. Of course it's not. Dude, since the 90s, he's been actively shitting his pants, bro. Dude, it's been 30 plus years since he's been just actively shitting himself. Even during The Apprentice, in the early days of that show, there's been people bitching and complaining about the fact that he shits himself. Like, that's just a fact. Oh, no. That one hasn't been verified. You know what? I don't care. When the legend is, more true than the fact, let the legend be true. You know what I mean? At a certain point, you gotta let the legend be fact. When it overcomes the true fact of the nature of things, like, you just gotta let it be. I'm sorry. Like, when it's Trump, no, you let the legend of that be true. If these MAGA right-wing Nazis can have a little fake reality bullshit, then so can we, okay? So, we can too. We can have a few. All right? Especially when it's not verified, then we can at least infer with our own reality and just make it so, okay? And if we push it enough, it just will be true. Besides, fuck his ass. That's why one of his nicknames is Stinky. Ugh. But to shit yourself so much that it literally seeps through your diaper. And that means that it's probably so liquidy that it like pools up, dude. It's like piled up and pools. And it pools up so much it seeps through. Oh my. Okay. Oh my god. I actually. Oh fuck. Oh my god, my body's actually like. Oh fuck. I'm okay. I'm okay. Oh, dude, my body actually unironically like was reacting really bad to that. The imagery was so bad, dude. It was awful. At least Biden had decency to do it in the Pope's office. That's true. At least it wasn't the cool Pope. It was the Pope before the cool Pope. Now we got the cool Pope. Let's see, it's possible. I had a stomach bug once. The diaper would not have contained what came out of me. Dude, honestly, man, I've had those moments too where I'm like, I feel like I need to take a gnarly shit, but I know it's not. Even if I try to release a fart, it's not. You know what? I will even admit, man, I've gambled on that once. And not even just once, but a few times before in the past, growing up in my life. In my entire life, there's been at least 4 different times where I've gambled it and lost. And the last one, which was about like 2 years ago, was exceptional because that was literally where the whole fam was there, and it was for like a mutual birthday thing between me and a family friend because we literally have like the birthdays on like the same day kind of thing, basically kind of shit. And I literally sat there like, once I was like, all right, I got a little fart, and the initial like was not. I was like, oh, and I was like, oh no. I was like, and I was just like, oh no. And I was like, all right, I know where the bathroom is. I'm looking at my food. I'm already halfway done with it because I was in the middle of eating. And I was like, I got a little. Oh no, it's not. I was like, put that down. I literally was assessing. Like literally, my brain went to like assessment mode. I was like, all right, no one's noticing or cares. I'm just gonna go, get up, go to the bathroom. I'm gonna be like, hey, go to the bathroom. Boom. And I looked up at my, fucking seat, and weirdly enough, thank God it wasn't like seeped, but there was like literal steamage where it had condensation. And I was just like, oh, hell no. So I rushed to the bathroom. And luckily, when I went there with the lack of TMI, thank fuck it wasn't bad. It was just a little moment, and then it was just, I don't know why, steamy as a motherfucker, apparently, because it was just like, because once it was all, like, it literally had like this warm heat rising, and I felt it. I was like, why is there like a fucking heater on my ass in the toilet? Like, at a certain point, I was just like, what the fuck happened? I don't even remember what I ate the day before or anything. I don't even know why it happened. It just, my gut was just like, nah, fam, we're done. You're cooked. And just unleashed that. Out of all the days, too, where I'm like surrounded by family, even my brother's like, yo, you had a little, you had a whiff of something that happened at you. What happened? I was like, yeah, I thought I had a fart and it wasn't, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, Jesus Christ, that was gnarly, dude. Because it was. Dude, I was also while in there like, oh, God. Oh, shit. Oh. And I have to, like, bend so far where I'm, like, below the toilet seat or some shit, bending my back in such a fucked way where it's like I avoid the smell rising. I was just like, oh, my God, what happened to the gut? Maybe it was just doing a cleanse or some shit, bro. I don't even know, dude. But out of all the days, it had to be on, like, my birthday, like, seriously. Like, on the 20, like, my 27th, I was just like, bruh. And it was at a restaurant, too, and everything. I was just like, no. Why? It was fucked. Reality is so cringe. Dude. That's why you just gotta make the best out of the cringe, bro. Kind of ran, but Dirty Dan is one of my favorite Shel Silverstein poems. I don't know if I've read that. It's been a while, kind of related, but I like Dirt Nasty Dan by Johnny Cash. That's a nice song. I like that. For me, it was in Cuba. I brushed my teeth with the water. Oof. Seventh day, my body exercised that demon. Oh my God. Well, if, to bring it back, to the whole, like, if America didn't fuck Cuba up with the sanctions that we have, like, a permanent grudge with because they were, like, friends of the Soviets or whatever, then, maybe they would actually, healthy, amazing, prosperous nation that we would have an amazing relationship with, and they would have amazing clean water and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. But alas, thought Dirty Dan was a SpongeBob reference. I think SpongeBob referenced that from another thing anyway. For me, it is. Well, there you go. Jesse. Jesse Chunk. Jesse. Up. Chunk chunk. Just like, I've been upgraded to such a drum dog, I have now drumsticks used upon me. She's just looking at me like, what are you doing? This is more precise than I'm used to. Jazzy Chunk. You little jump dog girl. Jazzy, come here, chunk. You little sweet baby. You want a little sweet treat? Come here. Put a little rock. Chunk. You want a treat of the beer? You want a little Max beer? Come here. Chunk. Come here. I know you want it. Come here. Jazzy, you chunk. Come here. Have a little bit of this. You chunk. Wow, you're stubborn. There's something about this little corner of this couch that you just refuse to leave. Dude, like, even when I was gone for a little bit, she literally was just like in this little corner this whole fucking time. Either on the top of the cushion or just here in the corner of the couch. Like, she's been there all day. She just wanted to be chunk and lump in one little spot and just hang out there. You chunk. Oh, I'm propane. Get over here. Oh. Yeah.
All right, Andrew. I'm giving you an assignment. You clean the toilet this time.
Oh, I agree, Jazzy.
No, I did it like 4 or 5 times since I moved in now. It needs it now. It's got them stains.
Well, you'll probably be alright, for me to postpone that for a second.
Yeah, I'm not saying do it right this minute.
Yeah, I was
saying
about.
you doing it next though.
Okay. She's like, whoa.
She's like, no. Stop with sticks. Whoa. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar.
It's in Russian.
Allah Akbar.
It's actually a Soviet-Afghan war song. Funny enough. Actually, what song is this? Which one is it? A Star Called the Sun. Oh yeah, I think this one's kind of like a ballad about like leaving Afghanistan and shit, if I remember correctly. Like seeing setting sun for the last time before dipping Afghanistan. I think that's why, especially, it's kind of in that like, kind of in that little ballad kind of feel. That's kind of a little melancholy almost. You know what's wild? I actually, not that long ago, found some cool pictures of the Soviet-Afghan War where the Soviets actually had American weapons too, like M16s and M1 Garands and shit, because they found some off the Taliban and some, Afghan troops, because we sent a lot of surplus over there. Thanks CIA with the Mujahideen. And it wasn't just, javelins and stuff like that. but it was also like M16s, M4s, like old surplus, like M1s, Garands, M1 carbines, shit like that. And there's actually Soviet troops that you could find in photos during the Soviet-Afghan War where they have M16s, and M1 Garands and shit like that, as their primary weapons that they took. Because for whatever reason, they just wanted to have them and use them instead. It was actually kind of crazy, and frankly, the Soviet-Afghan War's got a lot of crazy lore that a lot of people don't know about. There's even this Japanese worker that literally moved to Afghanistan after he quit his job just because he wanted to experience a little bit more life than working an office job. So he went to Afghanistan, fought with the Mujahideen, taught them kung fu and like karate and other melee, like hand-to-hand combat defense shit. And also, as a man who never fired a gun or nothing, learned pretty well.
Hey,
Learn how to
another
fucking
thing,
fire guns and
you
shit.
really like this light, but it's the most expensive light in the house to run.
Well, turn it off.
I'm just saying. I know that this is your preferred light, but it is the most expensive light, electricity-wise, in the whole house. It's running 6 bulbs that aren't, what's it called, the right kind of bulbs.
What if we just loosened up a few so they're not...
Yeah, but it's still also the wrong kind of bulbs. If anything, you need to replace the bulbs with more fuel-efficient
LED ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would actually be better.
Yeah.
Let's get like a pack of 6 LED, those little spiral LED ones, because those definitely will be a lot more efficient.
Yeah.
Because they run like on like a very specific kind of like gas thing, when it comes to how they run or something. Yeah, versus like, yeah. What a wonderful species we are. I know, right? What great species do you happen to be? Well, no, I mean, we are. That's the whole duality of man, right? Like, there's a lot of people that are fucking amazing, great people. But also, we have the most scummiest, disgusting, heinous fucking things, so we wonder how are they a part of us, too, kind of people that exist, It's a weird little compañeros dos. It's like, in Full Metal Jacket with Private Joker. Why do you have a peace sign on your helmet, sir? Got no idea what they had to do with price rise in China, but okay. Well, have fun with that then. I don't know. That's your problem, I guess. Yeah, I know Steyer's out. Now it's MAGA versus fucking corporate dem. At least we got Ramen, for running against Karen Bass, so that's good. I will say though, unironically, I think the Republicans should win for California governor just to teach the Dems a lesson. Yeah, you want a corporate Dem? Fuck you. At least, like you get Ramen, you get some other good people in your state in California, especially some high-profile people. But hey, you know what? Your governor's going to be ass. And maybe Oregon should probably learn the same thing a little bit too. What?
Our government in Oregon sucks dick.
Well, hence why maybe we should be taking a little lesson, because I predict, well, I don't predict, I kind of want it to be that way. I want the Republican, weirdly, for governor to win in California, while you got like mayors like Ramen, for running for, against like the incumbent like Karen Bass and shit, right? Like, I want them to win, but I want the governor to actually be a Republican just so that he could teach the corporate Dems a lesson a little bit. Because, like, they really should have, like, ran fucking Steyer. They should have just said, like, he's a fucking billionaire. What? He couldn't throw, like, I wouldn't be surprised he did to throw a few to DNC, like a few 100,000 or maybe even a million, or, be like, yo, can you endorse my shit? And they're just like, nah, you're too, like, progressive for our taste because you're too much of an actual class trader. He's like an actual FDR kind of guy, so it's like, Yeah, he was a class traitor. Well, dude, his family was a dynasty. Like, you know, you had Teddy, Theodore Roosevelt. Like, I mean, yeah, his family was a dynasty. Like, yeah, of course. But at least, I mean, Steyer doesn't even have that though. But still, like, I mean, well, I don't care about sexual orientation about a motherfucker as long as they actually do good shit, and she doesn't. Unironically, Kate Brown was weirdly better about shit, and she still sucked. I don't know, dude. Yeah, we're gonna need a little bit of change. I think it's unhinged. The fake British Foxos Hilton. I don't know, man. It's a hot take, but you know, hey, I don't know, man. Like, what? Honestly, let's just be honest. Do you think a governor of California being a Republican, especially a guy like that, is going to be able to truly get anything really done? He's going to be, like stonewalled. The seat, representative, like the Senate and the Congress of, the California state will basically just stonewall him. You might be able to get away with certain shit with like a governor executive order shit stuff with certain things, but for the most part, he would just be there to just basically be like a face. Same as your. Yeah, I know he does. I mean, I grant that. Same with the fucking, president. He could do the same exact fucking thing. I mean, the idea of a governor is basically they're the president / the leader of a state. That's what a governor is. So, I mean, they're basically like a mini president. So, like, I mean, for all intents and purposes, yeah, he does have certain powers that can override, the local, state, legislature, of course. Not disgranting that. But especially, do you really think that it's going to help the Republican, party, in California and federally, especially? Think about it. He throws his card out, lets the Natty Guard help ICE or whatever the fuck, in LA or some shit, right? Do you really think with the local populace that's going to sit well, especially if you got Raman as a mayor of that city who's like a Mamdani, right? Like, I mean, I'm just saying. And also the federal government right now with the head of ICE literally saying, yeah, New York is next. And Mamdani's running that fucking city. I mean, New York is next. So this is also going to be a great, test for Mamdani to see how hard he's going to be playing ball and shit. But at the same time, it's like, I trust him. But regardless, it's just like, either way, like, these Republicans don't give a fuck about the law. And honestly, sewer socialists like, Mamdani and shit need to play some hardball and have some balls. Including Ramen, too. And you know what? If it has to be that close to home, because the corporate Dems, want to keep fucking up over and 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 over again, then so be it. I mean, it's not anyone's fault but the corporate Democrats and the fucking, their weird, like, fence riding bullshit that supports the fascists regardless. Like, it's no one's fault but their shit. And I guess the fascists too, because they're the ones controlling shit. But still, either way, it ain't the fucking fault of the leftists. It ain't the fault of the progressives that are actually trying to advocate and push for change. And you know what? The corporate Dems and, because they're in bed with these fucking fascist designers and shit, and don't like a class traitor like Steyer, they need to have a lesson taught. Fuck them. I mean, I am in that position a little bit. Like, yeah, they need a lesson taught. Their fucking candidates shouldn't win. Unfortunately, likely the case, they will, but I don't want that. Sorry. Yeah, they need to have a little hurt, maybe actually fucking realize in California they need, some hardline shit a little bit. Because California's been hurting for that for a long time. Oregon, Washington, the entire West Coast has been hurting for this shit because the fucking people yearn for it. And if it takes a certain path, to do it, I'm going to look at it and take a gamble. Because honestly, fuck, dude, I actually unironically rather, Tina Kotek lose to a Republican now than have to deal with her for another fucking, term. Like, fuck her ass, dude. I mean, like, because honestly, what really is the worst that's going to happen? What? The same shit, but now they got the mask off with the data center bullshit and, like, selling out, to the fucking billionaire that owns the Moda Center and everything. Oh, so they have, like, a weird little liberal mask that's not there anymore. Ah, convenient. Now we know what they actually are doing. And they're not trying to bullshit us either. At least they're brazen. I mean, it's like, I'd rather have the fucking enemy that lets me know who the fuck they are than the one that pretends to be my friend. And these liberal motherfuckers always pretend to be your friend until they get in power. And then they stab you in the back because it's always, as they say, scratch a liberal, a fascist bleeds. Every fucking time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, well, you can't get fooled again. Got to put food on my family. And then Blue Wavier, Fox Orange Slurper doesn't stand a chance anyway. Like I said, I mean, and the Frank fucks thing is these corporate Democrats and these, fucking scratcher liberal fascist bleeds, neoliberals and shit are taking every fucking advantage of it. And they can't and they shouldn't. But yet they are. And honestly, it's dead ass like, no. Those particular candidates need to lose to a Republican because they need to be taught a fucking lesson. Fuck your asses. You think your influence is working anymore? It's cracked. It's gone. And I'm okay with, one electoral cycle of y'all losing, so some weird MAGA fuck for a cycle gets their little 15 minutes of fame, and then, because of some bullshit scandal or some other shit, they immediately get elected out the next cycle. I mean, for every Republican that wins, there's always, for every, 2 or 3 of them that wins, there's always one that has some, like Madison Cawthorn, for example. He had, some scandal that wasn't even that big of a scandal, but he resigned and, went out of the Congress because of that shit, and he was only there for, barely a full term. He didn't even run for re-election or nothing. He just resigned, halfway through his first term. So it's like, I mean, what? You find some bunch of shit and you fucking hound it hard enough and a couple of them resign and a few of them are bulldogging enough to stick. Sounds like a good gamble to me. And frankly, with how things fucked are now, what difference does it make? Especially with so many of these corporate neoliberal motherfuckers who are going to win in these midterms too, as much as the fucking leftists too. It's like, what, you don't think they're going to just add to the fucking bullshit and pretend to be our friends? Like I said, I'd rather have the enemy that at least, says, yeah, I'm going to fuck your shit up, instead of the one that pretends to be my friend and stabbing in the back when they got the power. That's just how I feel about it. I'd rather at least know the enemy that is in my face and know what the fuck their game is than the one that tries to be like a manipulative fuck and pretends to be my friend. Like a liberal. Especially a neoliberal or a fucking shit liberal or corporate liberal. Those are the fucking worst out of them all. At least with, average Joe libs, I can kind of, vibe with them for the most part, and even, radical libs, but even then, I gotta keep my distance, because you never know. There's too many times I've been, scratched, by them, and I see a fasci out of that, and I'm like, You're not really on the true side of it all. You just like, social rights stuff being nice and Gucci and clean, but as soon as it happens to hit you personally, then you're like, wait a minute. I actually like the status quo. I actually like how things are going. So, kind of fuck you a little bit, actually. I kind of want, things to keep going the way it is. If it means I, keep my shit. Yeah. This is why I tend to be kind of a somewhat of an accelerationist leftist to a degree, because the influence of these fucking shit libs need to fucking go away and be done and die already. in the influential political sphere. Like, in that sense, because like they are just as destructive as much as these fucking fascists and Nazis are. Arguably even more so because they set the precedent to let these motherfuckers get power. These fucking Nazis would not be in power right now if it wasn't for the fucking neoliberal shittery that we've had for decades since post-Reagan. And even with fucking like, Carter too, to an extent, that got Reagan into power in the first place too. I like him, but even he fucked up because he was too much of a lib. Didn't have the balls. Frankly, arguably, it hasn't been like that since fucking FDR. At the very fucking minimal, let's get back to that. I want to see a new fucking Bill of Rights. I need a motherfucker like that out there. I know they're around. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Steyer is that guy. Honestly, watch him try to run in 2028 for president. I'd let him, and I'd vote for his ass. I'm not even joking. If there's someone else, I'd do it. If there's somebody else that's like, willing to step up to the plate, but it's him, I'd vote for him. I wouldn't think he's like an FDR, like, to that ultimate degree, but shit. I mean, I know this much. He's a traitor to his class, and he actually cares about the people enough and wants even himself to be taxed more to where he's not like some insane, crazy billionaire. He happened to be a byproduct of the system, but he recognizes and is smart enough to understand, like, yeah, it's disfavorable to just continue this. I could still be as rich and empowered as the way I am as a person, without needing this system. We can have a better system for everybody, and I could still be who I am, with that. Maybe not as rich as I am now, but that's okay. Because I accept that. I'm willing to betray my broader class, in order for everyone else to have a better life and outcome. And maybe I ain't as rich anymore as a byproduct of it. Who cares? I got my fucking pie. Everyone else deserves their share. At least I like that about Steyer. It's a fucking shame that, he ain't gonna be making it in general, but, maybe he might, run the primaries for 28. I'll be there for that. I'd push for him. Better than Newsom. Absolutely. Both of them are probably going to run at 28 too. At least Newsom for sure. And I definitely don't want him either. Like, fuck that guy. He's a snake in the grass in every fucking way. The only time he actually does something right is when he has a risk of his, like, power. Like, when he had, like, recall elections happen. All of a sudden, he became a major progressive when he had a fire, hit under his ass. But when he comes to a president, do you think the entire country is going to be doing shit like that? No. California, maybe. But not in fucking the whole country. He's going to be the worst, version of himself if he's president. Like, fuck him. He should never run for president. Even though he will. But never let him become the nominee. I'd vote for Steyer. Same here. Like I just said. Like, ultimately, to me, he's kind of my guy. Yeah, I vote for Booty Juice. I would not vote for Booty Judge. AOC, yes. Kana. I don't know, man. I don't really like him personally. But, I mean, maybe I'll take him as a VP. Like, if he was like a VP candidate, maybe I'll be all right with that. But I don't know. He's too much of a weasel, dude. Like, honestly, in my opinion, like, there's been too many times, where he's backtracked or even been like, well, maybe the liberals have a point here. Like, he's too much of a softie. I don't like him. He's too cowardly. Like, he's not a hard baller. He don't got the balls. He don't got the chutzpah. I don't really want him, anywhere than where he is right now. He's a good guy to help, like, co-sponsor and support and endorse and this and that. Like, he's fine in that way, but like beyond that, I mean, I don't really want him further in power, honestly, because like he's just he's weaker than Bernie, arguably, in my opinion. Like, he talks the talk, but he doesn't really fucking fight for it at all. It's just one of those guys where I just don't trust him. Not because he's like a sellout, but he's just too much of a bitch. Vito, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I think you want to come over here and get snuggled by Unc. Well, give me a second. Maybe I will. I'm going to. Look, boy, you sweet Vito boy. Just the virtue of talking to you just gets that tail going. Vito boy. His tail is such a weapon, dude. Jesus Christ. Here, I'm gonna move everything like as far away as possible. There we go. Vito boy. Come here, boy. Vito. You big boy. Vito. Oh my god, your tail, dude. Seriously? And why are you on the ground? What are you doing? He looks at all y'all being like, I didn't consent to this. Oh, look at all that floof. Look at all that floof. Aww. Oh, look at this boy. How do you love this, Vito? Oh my god, you crazy boy. He's literally just in pure bliss. What the fuck are you doing now? I don't know. He likes it. Look at him. He literally is in pure bliss. He's like, yes, I love this. I want all of this. What dog wants this? Like, what the fuck? How's this possible? Usually he squirms around like a freak, but he's literally just like, embrace my chin. Get my face. I want all of it. He's like, all right, we're done. You crazy boy. You Vito boy. Chocolate. Dog by day, percussion instrument by night. I mean, he really is, though. I mean, Honestly, that's like one of the few times where he's like actually kind of weirdly okay with it. Mostly. It's like the most he's been chill with that ever. I'm not even joking. You bongo jump boy. Little galoon jump of a dog. Oh shit. It got activated. Vito. Over there. Bigger boy. Big old percussion boy. What's so real doge? Oh, you just good boy. Look at that happy face. Never done. Come on. I'm gonna say he's tolerating perhaps. I mean, what's that little like that little shitting Reno was having the whole time? I mean, he seemed like he was fine. If he wasn't okay with it, he'd be a struggle fuck. He'd be like, yeah. He's the crazy one. Jazzy, will not like it, but just sit there and embrace it anyway and be like, well, this is my life now. Eh. But him, like, he usually would be like, yeah. Like, he starts freaking out and shit and be like, I don't want that. But he was just embracing the shit out of it. Be like, yes. Give me the spit rubs and the little beats and pats. Oh, yes. Like, he just was actually into it for a minute. Like, for a good second there. Obviously, doses, because you were just a little quick. Look at that. I knew you were going to paw me. Well, hi, Chunk Chunk. Where are you going? Well, she's just wandering off. Chunk. Just where you go? Where you wandering to?
Big fat Vito rat with that little booty smack. He is so gorgeous. It is enormous with his Vito-ness. Vito, ogen. Okay, oink. Vito, the big hooks. Eat that boy. Eat that boy love.
Oh.
Back up my boy.
You should have seen him earlier. He was being, weirdly the most like behaved bongo drum for a moment.
Oh, bongo Vito drum floor.
And he literally like was in belly mode, just like bonking on my neck and my chin with all that little chunk scritch. I know you're a little weirdo, boy. You're anxious, boy, but you do love a lot of the shenanigans that do happen.
It's not an introvert at all.
No, I'm not. I didn't say that. I said I know you can be a little anxious ADHD boy, but I know you like the shenanigans that happen sometimes. Not always, but there are a few times where you're like, all right, I like it. And you get no love, because that's all you want. The anxiousness isn't the virtue of love. You just want love. Yes, I got the feelings and I need love. Oh my god. Oh, and he's even put his paw on me. He's just like, oh, he's just sweet, buddy. And he could be a little bongo Vita boy. I'm gonna take a little pill real quick. I'll be right back. Big old chunk boy. Vito. Vito boy. Come here. Yeah. Come here. You literally are like, oh no, you're gonna throw a pill at me. Come here, Vito. Big old goof. Oh my god. What are you doing? Get into boy. Come on. I'm not gonna bongo drum you. I'm just gonna give you all the scritches. Yeah, all the scritches. Oh, this little happy boy. He just is like, yes, all the scritches. He's like pressed up against me so hard right now. He just needs the stimulation of scritch. And he loves the scritches right here, too. Oh, you big old boy. Wow. I saw that 10% warning. Let's put that bitch right there. Even if the ankle ain't great. Whatever, fucking. Big old boy. Big old boy. The Vito's boy. Big old boy. The sweetest boy. Oh. He's literally looking for an out. Oh, oh, ugh. Big old goof boy. You silly boy. Give him a doge. Why do you love your face being smacked around and like scritched up? You're the most weirdest little doge I've ever met. He literally is like, oh yes. Oh yes. He literally is doing that to me. He's like, I want more of that. What is wrong with you, Vito? You're such a weirdo, bro. You're the only dog I've ever met that loves like the scritches and the little smacky pats on your face. Obviously, I'm aggressive, but you know, just in that little playful way. I don't know why, but you love it so much. You little weird, absurd little thing. Oh, I love you. Oh, he's such a good boy. He's like, what, you've done? Oh, big old boy. You just big old chunk, floof. Chunk master, floof. Oh, you doing stretches? Oh my goodness, all that stretch. Oh my god, look at that stretch. Oh my god. Oh, look at all that stretch. Y'all can't see the stretch, but that's okay. Oh, this stretch. Oh. Oh. Holy shit, you just rapid fire yourself into a little ball. Because you just stretch your gun off like a ball. Boy, you're just a good boy. It's like activated, but not at the same time. Oh, silly little boy. Oh, dear boy. Why do you not like resist? You just literally embraced it.
What was that sound?
What sound?
I hear like fucking knock. Oh, you're doing that to beat out. Thought there was like
You literally thought someone was knocking on the door. It's just.
it wasn't like sharp enough for the sound. To knock like that.
If he does just sitting here, just like, all right, this is happening, I guess. He strangely kind of likes it though. I love how he literally like came in here thinking it was like knocking at the door. If that was the case, wouldn't he be boofing like a maniac? Cause boy, little Vito Bean. He's looking at me, and I don't know in a way of judgment or like I want more. But he also does look relaxed as fuck. He's like, oh yes, my energy has been released. Unlike last night, but oh no, man. I should have just said fucking stole the stream from last night, because dude, what Vito unleashed was diabolical, bro. I actually literally had to step a few feet away and be like, what? Because between both of them, I needed 4 different fucking bags, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I thought that he, wanted before he left for work. I couldn't. I woke up, it's like, oh fuck, I literally got like 20 minutes before I got a dip. Alright, Vito, get out of my room. Kind of shit. Like, get out of my room, get ready, going, wake bake real quick, 5 minutes to the bus, cool, boom. Like, there ain't no goddamn way that was happening. And then, it was like, all right, what? It was kind of like a whatever. It was never like communicated one way or the other, honestly, because he was just like, you never did. I was like, I thought you did. I mean, like, whatever. Who cares? But still, it's just like, damn. At least I was chilling. And they did have a walk earlier today too, so that helps, with their chillness. Even though in a weird way, I think y'all could probably do another one, and you'll all be, happy about that. Big boy, treat boy. Your darker little face when you just like, with his little mouth open, it's just the most cutest little fucking thing. Especially when y'all has that like floof and smoosh, just like. It's the most cutest damn little thing. You sweet boy. Reminds me of my buddy. Which does remind me that it's going to be so exciting for both of these bunnies to be together too. All 3 of them. Now it'd just be the case at that point whether Zuzu and Vito, little VV and Zuzu, can tolerate each other, which I think they can. I think it'd be okay. It might just be a little baby girl pain for like a minute. But beyond that, should be good. And my boy ain't like, the little puppy ass that he used to be, where now he would do unfortunate shenanigans either and stuff. And shit, I honestly, like, it's been a minute since I've seen him, and I've been trying to, like, hit my brother for, like, the last, like, 2 fucking weeks. And all he does is, like, thumbs up my fucking, like, messages instead of responding to them when it comes to be like, yo, can we, like, link up and meet? Not just for us to kick it, but so I can also see my boy. And he just, dude, this communication so fucked and shitty. It's like, bruh. I know my schedule ain't the best, but like we can work something out. Like, dude, like what the fuck, man? It's like, come on, bro. You're literally my bro. And you got my damn dog. You're babysitting him, while I was dealing with my move and shit. You're not keeping him forever for fuck's sake. And also I have like a weird little like paranoid idea that like, something happened to him or some shit, which I don't think, I trust him enough, with that. Because he also has a dog, on top of, him. But it's just like, bruh, why is there this like weird lack of communication happening here, dude? It's a little fucked.
What's that, brothers?
Not much. If anything, actually, it's raining about doggos. At least my doggo. Because I need my boy to come here eventually. In time. I know it won't happen like overnight, but all 3 of these things. Especially little Zuzu, because he always loves the shenanigans of me just holding him up as a little bing bing. And he's got more chunkier. Kind of like a Vito. He's starting to look a little bit more like you, just about the point of ears and everything. And he got the white tooth on his chest and everything. He's starting to look like you for all the sweet thickness and healthiness, Vito. Just a smaller version. Not as big as you. You better not boy him, Vito. When he's here, I will defend my boy. You will be rejected as the favorite from Ulk. And Jazzy will take all the love. Doesn't know that Zuzu won't care about Jazzy. They're going to be 2 peas in a pod. If anything, I got to stop Zuzu from probably trying to do something to her. But I don't think that would happen. But I know you, Vito. You're going to be a jelly bean. And you're going to be the one that's going to be the piece of work. Because Zukov, your little brother, is going to be showing up. And you're going to have to deal with it. He's kind of giving me a little bit of a judgment of like, not completely, but a little bit. I don't think he knows everything I'm saying, but he knows enough. He hears the names. He hears Zukov. He knows what I mean. He knows that. He's like, oh yeah, my younger brother, him. I have to deal with him now. He's a part of my life. For months on end. Oh yeah, am I activating you, Vito? Yeah, you don't want that, do you? Because you're the big boy, huh? You try to be the big old boy. Oh, you stretch your leg, boy. You goofy doge. Goofy little doge. And you're not going to be a goofy little boy when Zuzu's around. Zuzu's going to be more like you. And you're going to be the most grumpiest little shit. And, oh, man, you're going to probably do so much rebellious nature shit, too, Vito. Oh, my God, I know you. Even while streaming, too, when neighbors showed up. You're like, I will look at trash bin because there's food. It got knocked over for half a second. And I wanted to sniff the pizza that was. So I had to stop you. And your lucky uncle was nice enough to be like, You go to our neighbor and our friend and you say hello. It'll be looking away from me like that, Vito. You know I'm talking to you, and you know I'm doing the judgment of woe. You know me. You know me, Vito. Big old boy. And I know you hear everything I'm saying. Your ears are perked up this whole time. You might look like you're ignoring me, but your ears are perked up the whole time. You're a smart little shit, okay? You're a smart dog. Oh my god. Now he's just like belly rubs. I command thee. It's ridiculous. Look at this. It's absurd. He just want belly rubs now. He's like, I hear you, and I get you, but fuck you, belly rub. Look at all that squishy floof. Look at all that squish floof. He's like, quit messing with my squish floof. He's literally like, quit messing with my squish floof. My squishy floof. Quit messing with it. You goofy boy. It's not my fault you all have this flabby skin floof. With all the floof on it. Ah, big old boy. Big old goof chunk of a floof. Let's see what time it is. A little after 1. I'll probably, you know what? Do a little outro, hit this last little bowl, all that fun shit. And then, I don't know. I guess see where the rest of my night, for the tiny little bit that I have left, takes me. I'm just not excited for tomorrow. I got a 10 to 6. Why must that be my curse? Honestly, arguably, it's probably better if I had those shifts. Arguably, maybe. I'm not gonna lie, because the whole we for closing shifts, everyone has to leave, kind of thing together for work. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not really about that. I guess I'll have to figure that out and talk to my manager about it. Be like, can I at least have an exception and be like, I just got a bus to take at the very least, or some other method, being able to get back, but this would be a little preferable, I suppose. I'm sure I probably could, but I don't know. I have to see what happens with that, because it's a new rule that they happen to have for this week, moving forward. I'm just like, fuck, dude. What a way to start the job, like a month in. Now that's what I have to deal with. It's like, got this drastic rule change now where it's definitely worse than, how you was taught and trained into it. It's like, oh, yeah, great. Awesome. It's definitely going to make me feel a lot better. Especially for those closing shifts. Oh, lovely. More of an emphasis to make sure we get the fuck out sooner the better, especially when it comes to getting the closing shit done sooner the better before we officially close at midnight. So, everyone has got that same mindset, so we'll agree to that. I mean, there is a weird little, hell yeah to that kind of shit, I will admit, because, I mean, I don't think anyone wants to stay until, 1 in the morning kind of shit. We want to all at least get out by, 12:30 at the latest, kind of shit. if we can help it. So I'll grant that. You know, we're all on the same page regardless, no matter what, even before then, you know, with that. So whatever helps get, you know, the closing shift done sooner, you know, especially with small detail bullshit, the better. Now, unfortunately, I gotta wait until everything's done. And even if you're totally done, now you just have to sit there on your ass, you know, for like 15 plus minutes until everyone is completely done. Especially with the paperwork bullshit. It'd be like, all right, now we can all leave. It's like, yay, yippee, skipper. That's gonna be so fun. Also joyous. But, you know, enough of that little work talk. And all that, you know, work around bullshit. Fifth thing out, listen, you know, gotta go for the rest of the night. I don't be going out for a nice little juicy memento. So, we'll peace it out for now. So, with all that being said, of course, pink comments, we got that little cash for anyone who wants to spread a little extra love. Little likes, you know, to subscribe, share to, you know, the homeboys and all that, you know, and the homegirls and MBs and everything in between. All that shit. Last little show before we did. But, anyway, with all that being said, though, peace, the fuck right on out. Until the next.